We're live. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
Bonjour,
Welcome
friends.
aboard. Thank you for being with us last week when we didn't have between Gen Con and other things. We wanted to be well rested for this. So if any of you went to Gen Con, I hope y'all had a great time and maybe met some of these folks. Maybe. I don't know.
I mean,
Did you
I
meet
don't think anybody came up to me and said, "Hey," well, except for people from our server.
They just admired you from afar.
They
That's-
did.
Yeah. They were
I
just over
flirted with
another
every
booth.
pirate that walked past.
Of course. All right. So, welcome aboard, everybody. Here we are for chapter 4 of By Leaps and Bounties, a 7C second edition actual play presented by Rick and Rasp. And we are using the Chaosium. They're using a 7C game, but we are not affiliated with the company or anything. We just really like the game. This chapter is titled All Hands on Deck. All Hands on Deck. And I'm going to go around and we will introduce everybody. I'm Danny. I'm the storyteller. I run this game. I don't control it, as I'm sure has been glaringly obvious throughout this whole thing. Let's go ahead and go with Michael and his friend.
There. I am Michael. I am playing Andreas Carraris, a Sarmatian Commonwealth sorcerer and duelist with a friend.
Ooh, a friend. Yes. Handsome friend.
Who whispers in your ear?
Devilishly
handsome, some might say.
Oh,
very drow-like.
Sinfully handsome? Sinfully handsome? Does that work too?
Mean.
Hate you all.
Anyway. Let's go ahead and go with Alla.
Hello, everyone. I'm Alla, and I am playing Ninette Primevert, who is going to be okay eventually, I think.
Eventually.
It's been 3 days. Cinematically, you're fine.
No.
Cinematically, you're fine.
Yes.
Will be eventually.
We need therapy.
Yes, aka the blood rose of the sea, apparently. Now.
I don't know where these rumors started, but apparently I'm the blood rose of the sea.
Oh, don't ask, because you were there on the bow of the ship, waving to people and announcing yourself and leading them in Montaigne songs.
And admittedly, that was very strategic to spare my friends the notoriety of becoming pirates as well.
I did call that
out. Is that what that did? Is that what
that was the point?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
All right, and John over there. Let's introduce.
Well, hello everyone. So I'm John. I'm the other part of Rock and Rasp, but I am playing Gianni Messina, not Gianni, or whatever it was.
Nobody else has noticed. I'm the one who noticed because I'm an asshole and I had to pick on you about it. Sorry.
But so I am the lovable Vadachi rogue.
Lovable Vadachi rogue.
As opposed to any other kind of Vadachi rogue.
And no less important than anybody else, we have Rue.
I believe it.
Well, I could have said last but not least or something like that, but
it would have been the same. No. Yes, my name is Rue Thompson, and I play Ace, the group's I guess grumpy and bitchy sailor that shoots things sometimes when necessary. It's not often necessary, so that's why she's bitchy.
Now she has the ship to captain.
I mean, kind of. It's Gianni's ship, but he did kind of just go to bed. So I took it. Yes, I took it and made it my own because I wanted the big bed. I have simple needs.
That's how it was. That's how we determined ship ownership was just whoever
just
claims the
went
big
in-
bed first.
I went into that room while y'all were walking to the ship, and I said, "I'm not getting out unless you pull me out," and nobody pulled me out. So,
The
Uh,
ancient rights of
King of the
shotgun.
Hill, ancient rights.
The ancient rights of
It's-
shotgun.
Yeah, the
And
ancient
now
rights of
Ace
dibs.
suffers the
Dibs.
burden of responsibility, which obviously she loves.
Honestly, Ace has spent well, I guess we can talk about this when Danny finishes her introduction.
We're
Please,
just so
would like
Danny.
excited to be back.
Um,
It's been a week. It's been 2 weeks.
it has.
It's
It's
been a
been a
week.
little bit. So last time we met our intrepid pirates. I usually say heroes, but
Well,
Not yet.
you are
Michael
pirates,
insists
you're a
that we're
hero.
not pirates. I feel like we stole a ship, so that makes us pirates. But he says because we weren't at sea, it's not technically piracy.
It's not. We're just common
Look,
thieves.
I'm just saying that when
Michael,
I download things
don't
illegally,
be
it's still
that guy.
piracy, and I'm landlocked.
Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy who's like
Don't actually
technically-
us.
Don't
Yeah.
mansplain our pirate game, Michael.
Yeah.
We have been working
Um,
on becoming pirates for a long time.
Anyway, what happened last week was that they knew there was a storm coming, and then other people other than Ace understood that there was a storm coming. And there was a mad dash to do the best they could to repair and prepare and be ready for this storm. And to sum up, they managed to converge, most of them on the pier, while Nanette was helping the convent to weather the storm as it passed over Charus, a very sudden death centered storm. And then they managed to to take on Jimenez and the people on these Inquisition ships. Whew, tongue twister. And managed to scuttle the other two ships in the harbor and in the pier, and then took the Cardinal's own ship for themselves, and with a very, very dramatic send-off, sailed off down the canal and out into the sea to determine what they are going to do now. To sum up what they know so far, is that Sudden Death is working with Villanova and heading to a place near the Sarmatian Commonwealth Ocean, that area somewhere in there, heading to where he believes the Carnival is or was sunk. And he has plans to use, according to Charles and Thomas, who showed up, according to Thomas and Charles, mostly Charles, Thomas was there as the transport, that they believe that there is something there more than the treasure that they suspected. There's something specific they may be after. He wasn't sure what. But he also, the Charles and the Invisible College also believe that where was I? Also believe that oh God, why did my brain just do that?
I don't know what they believe either.
The Fate Witch connection.
That's right.
Yeah, the Fate Witch connection, but he was also that he was going to use the bracers to raise the Carnival, and that's why he wanted them. That was it. That there was something there specific that they were looking for. It'd been indicated, and that he was going to use the bracers to try to raise the Carnival. And they figured out how the bracer is powered so that you do not get significantly hurt using it, which is a very dangerous form of sorte magic. Not smiled upon to be used, and dangerous. Not only for the person doing it, but for the people that they're using. So that is where we are. It has been 3 days on the ship, sailing out. And so let's kind of go over, I assume, it's pretty easy between being healed and, people on board who had medical experience, that Gianni, you're pretty on your, you're after a good rest for a couple days and tending to, you can move around. You're sore, you have some marks still and stuff like that, but um, you're able to walk around and you feel a lot better and everything like that. And Nanette, I mean, as well, you got pretty injured as well in the in between earlier. So those are much healed over now. It wasn't so much like you were flayed in any reason, but you did have wounds and stuff on your skin from where they were tearing at you there. But those
Let
are
her be flayed
mostly
if she wants to.
all right. If she wants to be flayed open, sure.
I mean,
Sure.
she's either getting flayed or getting laid, and we know that the second one ain't happening.
Oh my gosh.
Still technically
Wow.
engaged.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sorry. Rue's in the horse voice post-con cat mode. So
Indeed. So, I'd imagine, I'd imagine that, Andreas and Ace are healed. Did you guys get injuries too?
Yeah, I took some injuries, but
Yeah, okay.
I am healed.
No, I was
Yeah,
on the
so
bow of a ship and I really didn't interact with anybody. No. I'm fine.
No,
I took lots of naps.
Okay.
I took a
Yeah.
lunge, so I took 7 wounds.
So you're all y'all's health is fine. Yeah, at least as far as purposes go, you're healed. So, let's go ahead and we will kind of go around, and I will ask everybody what their character had been up to while they were walking around the ship. What were they doing? What were they organizing? Who were they trying to talk to? All of that stuff. So let's start with Gianni.
Well, once Gianni wakes up and is relatively whole, he will begin just walking around the ship in a daze. But he's going to start actually helping out. He'll end up tossing in with the crew and everything else. Probably talk to everyone. Check in, see how everybody's doing. It's kind of a weird shift for him to actually just do normal things, but that's pretty much what he's going to be doing. Somebody needs someone to work the sails, he'll work the sails. Somebody needs somebody to clean the deck, he'll clean the deck.
Cool. All right. Is there anybody in particular you wanted to talk to or anything like that? We have a combo of Nanette's Montaigne staff and members of the Utrecht, as well as Thomas and Charles, I believe.
I think, other than the party, probably would want to talk with Ace at some point.
Okay, we'll get to that once we'll kind of do external, and then we'll let y'all get together and figure that out. Let's go with Ace. What has Ace been spending the couple days? Well, I know, but please inform everybody else of what Ace has been doing.
Ace has not been doing anything exciting. Ace has been struggling under the weight of being captain. She wanted the big bed, not the big boots. And but she's been doing her thing. She when Gianni gets out of bed, she does tell him, "You're my second lieutenant," and walks out. And she assigns him to a senior staff position because in her mind she hopes that will appease him for taking his ship that he actually rightfully won. But yeah, a lot of it has been spent getting in pissy fights with Nanette, and then trying to fix it and assigning crew where crew needs to go. I had something I was going to say earlier, but I stopped myself and I lost it. So if it comes back, I'll bring it up.
So logistics mostly.
Yeah, logistics and hiding in her room. Yeah, pretty much.
All right, cool.
The best ways.
Cool. And what about Andreas?
So
What has he been up
Andreas pretty much during his recovery period from the stab wound, he started writing a very long letter to his order, the Ratas, describing the events of involving Silent Death, the gauntlets, or the bracers, I apologize, the bracers, the amount of power, what we learned about them, and the amount of damage that was wrought even through that. He will admit that he made another major deal in order to help stop the. Or no, he will say in order to stop. He will not reveal that there were other potential players in that for their own secrecy. And he will then request to be able to use whatever power is necessary in order to bring Silent Death from to be able to stop Silent Death from doing and creating this destruction again, explaining that he believes Silent Death currently wields the power of someone, another Loose Jai, and someone who's gone rogue. After doing that, he will look at his Davis and go, I need this letter delivered to the leader, unchanged on his desk, no rat blood. And for it, I will draw blood in your name. It's a minor favor. And if they say yes, you'll get more. Because if they say yes, I get to make big deals. And big power.
All of my power, and you're making me a post.
Not the first.
Consider an investment in your future.
I'm interested. Go on.
If this gets through unchanged and they agree with me, I get to do more things, specifically when doing that, which if I get to do more things means I have to ask you for more things and you get more favors.
Very well, hand it to me.
I hand it over.
And he doesn't do much other than toss it up into the air and it's gone.
Untouched, unchanged, and on the desk. We've been there. Thank you. I believe I have a lesson with Nanette at some point today. I should probably go look into that.
All right, cool. So then is he just like going around the ship and helping out, or is he doing anything specific, studying anything specific, or
he is very much trying to acclimate. He's sparring, he's acclimating himself. He's trying to get his sea legs. He's never his family was mostly does river stuff, and while he does have extended family that does ocean stuff, he was neither. So he's really trying. So part of his when he does sparring practice and that kind of stuff is really trying to be able to move with the ship instead of that kind of stuff. Instead of having to keep catching himself.
Okay, cool. And Nanette.
Okay, where do I start? So sure, she wouldn't call what she and Ace were doing a fight necessarily, or being snippy. Nanette is just cold, aloof, and very bureaucratic about everything. She refers to Ace as captain. She mostly does the duties that were assigned to her, and those primarily being serving as the ship's surgeon and purser, taking care of inventory, stuff she loves. She does try to keep good rapport with the crew for the most part. She has her meals primarily with the crew rather than the officers. Tries to keep good morale up, checks on everyone, make sure everyone's okay, starts teaching Pip and Squeak basic mathematics. Occasionally spars with Andreas and demands live blades for reasons unspecified. But eventually, she and Ace
Well, you
come
can't
to
be the blood
terms.
rose of the sea if you don't spill blood, right? You
Exactly.
can't be the blood rose of the sea if you don't spill blood.
And you
how it
have to
works.
know how wounds are caused to be able to better treat them.
Oh, okay.
So-
Is that what she's telling herself?
Yeah, it's exactly what she's telling herself. And
She might believe it.
Alrighty.
I could have zero empathy and realize that's a lie. No, I mean, what?
You're all being quite rude.
but
Cool.
honestly, but that is exactly what she's doing, because when she gets injured, she is trying to figure out how to heal it, using some theoretical magic that she is just jotting down in her notes at the moment. But
Yeah.
other than that, yeah, she mostly just worries about the crew a reasonable amount. Make sure to check on Tomas and Charles, ruffle their heads.
Yeah, you do see them apart occasionally, but more often than not, they're together. Um, you know, Charles reading and Thomas doing something else, helping out
Vibing.
or like vibing or whatever,
Probably
And
just sipping wine.
one time they were out on the deck and Charles was reading and Thomas had seen a bird or something and he was trying to point it out and you watched him try to get Charles's attention, but Charles was way too absorbed in the book to pay attention.
Still, she definitely thanks Charles for looking out for her little brother, considering everything that he's been through. He seems to be doing much better in his company, and she admits that in the heat of the moment she was wrong. He should save all the books he wants, but just to be careful that he doesn't lose anything else important to him in the process. Pats him on the head.
Of course. He gets a little watery and all that, but doesn't actually cry. But maybe he would have if, you'd kept going. But, he was like, you can tell it, it was a really nice thing for you to say and it affected him and stuff like that. And then he says, well, of course, Tomas is very intelligent and we've become friends. He pauses. He's like, friends? Friends?
Oh, the friends thing.
Yeah.
Friends.
You're a good friend to have, Charles. Thank you for taking care of him. When all of this is over, I will buy you the grandest library you have ever seen.
His eyes brighten up, of course. Like, that's. He's like, you don't have to do that.
But I want to.
Cool. All right. So yeah. So the couple days that it's been 3 days. We'll say it's 3 days. Few days pass. The weather's good after the storm. You have pretty good sailing. Pretty genteel so far. So there you are on the 3rd day. The ship, the morning shift is starting to get up and move around and start doing their thing. The night shift, is it's basically shift changing, duty changing at this moment in time. So I don't know what, I assume at least one of you would be up around this time.
The way that
Resting.
the way that I've set up the watches, we have 4 watches, 4 shifts, and most of the senior staff is awake during A shift and B shift.
Okay.
And then they get
Okay.
C shift off and they sleep for D shift.
Right. So we're talking like A shift is coming on, relieving D shift.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So that means everybody is probably getting awake for their duties they have been assigned by Captain Ace. I had also heard talk of there is a standard senior officer meeting that Ace has instituted of
Yes.
dinner, lunch, breakfast.
Midday meals are held in my cabin with myself, my first mate, and the ship's master, boatswain, and Gunnar and Nanette sometimes. when she deigns to join us.
Okay. Cool. So, now that you kind of picked a general direction, but with everything going on and having to go through the ship and get people settled and all of that stuff, I'd imagine y'all haven't had a really good time to sit down and talk about what your plan is. It's sort of been, maybe briefly mentioned, but no in-depth discussion, because you're trying to get shifts set and people introduced to each other and supplies and what do we have and what needs to be repaired, blah, 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 blah. We're making a toilet seat out of the nice fancy cardinal chair, that sort of stuff. Important stuff.
It's the eau de cardinal. But we
Apples.
We did. We spent the first couple days figuring all that stuff out and figuring out. It was I feel like the first 2 or 3 days on the ship was the first 2 or 3 days that we've been able to just breathe, and I think everybody was kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop. So Ace had talked with her officers and had decided to, once they got off the river that runs through Montaigne and goes up to Charus, once we'd gotten out into the open sea, they mapped out they gave the continent a pretty wide berth to avoid Castilian patrols, but they're headed, I believe it's southeast? Southwest to Labuca?
Southeast.
Is it southeast? Okay.
Southeast.
Either way,
it's off of Castile, so it would be southeast,
Yeah, the maps get really funky, but so she tried to get a route drawn that would take them outside of Castilian patrols, since the Inquisition tends to, and the Church likes to kind of usurp Castilian patrol ships and galleons and things like that and use them as flagships. So she tried to make a route that would take them kind of out of the way. It takes a few days longer, but as far as she knows, based on a brief discussion, Labuca is probably the friendliest port that we have right now, to potentially offload that ship. But she does want to meet with the party privately without the other parts of her staff there. So she would definitely call for dinner maybe on day 3 with Nanette and Andreas and Gianni, and perhaps because they're family of Nanette, Tomas and Charles would be welcome to join.
Oh, Charles is being included in the family now.
I'm already planning their wedding.
I mean, Ace is trying to figure out what book he might want for a groom's gift. So
we're 43 steps ahead, but
Nanette and Ace have been playing MASH in the infirmary, and Thomas and Charles just end up together every time. So,
oh my God, MASH.
What can you do?
Remember that from the 90s, kids?
God.
Yeah. Was it at Blabcation that we played MASH?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
We did.
You married your husband. That was good.
Behind the scenes. Yes.
Little behind the scenes.
Little behind the scenes. All right. So let's get that so we can get you all together and discussing things and stuff. So dinner time, the 6 of y'all. I assume this would be set up in Ace's cabin.
Yeah. I've set up the there's a table set up in there that we can all.
So
or we do the Midwestern, Sunday afternoon dinner where we're all just sitting on couches and sofas with paper plates and plastic forks and.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Guillaume, the ship chef, would not allow this to happen.
Yeah.
So
just grab a plate and sit on down. It's fine.
Guillaume, the cook from Nanette's staff, the chef from Nanette's staff, not a cook, chef, has prepared dinner and had, the crew Probably mostly Nanette's because they're the ones that are trained in like how to set a table all fancy and crap like that. I don't think the people from the Utrecht necessarily worry about that sort of thing.
It was literally like soup's on.
We got a bowl. Who needs silverware? And the
we
Montaigne
drank all of
contingent
our
is like,
meals. Yeah, we drank all of our meals. It was easier that way.
Cool. And the stores were well apportioned. I mean, this is the Cardinal's ship after all, and he can't be eating gruel or hardtack or anything like that. So, you know, it's good. Probably the best food you guys have had
in a minute.
A long time. Yeah, since Nanette was home, actually, for her. Not that she can tell the difference right now, but you know.
She watches everybody else eat and then gives glowing compliments based on what everybody else is doing.
You know about the taste thing yet?
Nope, she's not told anybody. I bet Guillaume makes Nanette's favorites all the time because he's so thrilled to be back in her service and that she's safe. And
he's probably so excited, and he's like, and Nanette's like, it's a little drier than usual because you can only tell textures. But it's lovely.
Yeah.
Oh no!
But of course, after everything is set and everybody has been served, the staff will, you know, back off and allow you all.
Get the fuck out of my cabin, all right? This meeting isn't concerning me. That's the kind of captain I am. Get the fuck out of my room.
Okay.
I can tell you.
Or
No.
policy.
Yeah, no. When they depart and leave us alone, we probably eat for a second. You don't want to like immediately launch into business when people are enjoying their meals. But eventually, you know, I clear my throat and I don't stand because I'm eating and that's more important. And I say, so we've pretty much passed the parts that I'm most concerned about, but we still have a few concerning patches between here and there. Thankfully, there was a map to Labuka on board. We left Gianni's with Kira, if you recall. I assume Labuka is where we did want to go. It was mentioned giving this ship as a possible show of good faith to our patron, the Count. Is that still what everybody wishes to do?
Is fine with me.
This is
What
your
else are
ship,
we gonna
Gianni.
do?
What the, when I went to bed, I
3 days ago.
I didn't have a ship, and so now I have a ship.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to be polite. You were the one that got them to walk away. All I did was walk on board and wheel up the gangplank.
You know,
Mine.
I just don't know what to say, because I'm still figuring out a few things. But I ultimately, I want to go to Laboka. I
Okay.
figure that Nanette wants to make sure her parents are okay. Makes sense to me.
I mean, that's the best reason for going. I mean, honestly, that I've been given so far. So, yes, I do believe, and I look at that I assume you do wish to go see your parents, right?
Of course. It would be lovely to see them again.
Well, yes, I'm sure it would be. And Tomas, I assume you'd be happy to see them as well. And she kind of talks over him if he starts to respond. But
Reach for the nifty
I mean, surely you do, right? Right. And Charles, you'd need to meet their parents as well. It's only proper. As it is, I've met them once. They were not in a good way when I saw them. Anyway, Ace is clearly awkward. She clearly does not like having this discussion, or being being the captain in this. She feels like she has to say everything. So, if anybody wants to cut her off at any time, that is more than appropriate. But so we're headed there. It'll take about another 4 or 5 days, probably at this rate, just because of the roundabout way that I'm kind of going to avoid possible patrols. Is the plan still to give this to the Count and see if maybe, or use it as a further bargaining chip with him? We have not done yet what he wanted us to do, but we did promise him some good shit if he helped us get to Charus, if I remember correctly.
And you are
There was the-
delivering on that promise, for sure. Even without the ship, you've delivered on the promise. All he wanted you to do was basically like cause some chaos, and I think you more than delivered on that.
And informed the Inquisition that Count Evero sent his regards.
I mean,
These are
none of
gods.
us know that. None of us know that, but Gianni did do that, yes.
Yes, he did.
Andreas did.
Andre, I did it.
Oh, well, so
Yeah.
did Gianni. Gianni said, do you know Count Evero? And then ripped the card.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
Oh, I did it to Jimenez.
Yeah, you did
Jimenez.
this to the Cardinal.
So they both Gianni and Andreas brought it up to the various
For sure.
villain.
And
Yeah.
So-
really, the Count just wanted us to go start shit, and mission accomplished. We did.
Mission accomplished.
So much shit.
So-
shit was started.
Do we... Oh, yes.
I was just going to say, he is a collector of the unusual. I think he will be interested in this ship. Whether or not you would use it as a gift, I would say there's always a chance of selling it to him
I like
or
that
making
plan.
arrangements.
We are not want for money. If you wish to sell it, that is quite all right. But I think an act of generosity for someone who has been generous with us may be helpful.
As much as I'm loath to admit it, I do believe that giving him the ship is the better option. I do not wish to enter into any further negotiations with him as far as money goes. We just need to take what is ours, which is Andreas's ship. Oh shit. We need to take whatever is ours. Sorry about that, Moana. Not now. We need to take what is ours and leave him with this. This ship has quite the story attached to it. If he has not already heard, he will by the time we get there for sure. Bad news travels quick. So
Do you know? Do you know if the crew would want to stay with us? Because the further deal we made involving the Carnivale required for the crew was based on us not having a crew.
It was, but it was also partly a, if I understood correctly, which, forgive me, if I remember correctly, it was also that it was to protect their investment.
Yeah, they requested
not
that they have
just-
at least some of their people on board. He didn't request all of the people
But
be his
it
people.
was, if
The
I
Count
remember
did
correctly, it was like at least it was between like a third and 2/3 of the crew needed to be Count
Yeah.
employees to
Right.
maintain that their investment, because our job is to get the map. The Carnival was a perk if we could get it, but it was
That's
the map
right.
that we are supposed to be returning, and until he gets the map back, he is holding the ship with his own people essentially.
Right.
So,
We
as far
are running a skeleton crew,
we are,
so having more hands on deck would be helpful.
I agree.
You would have, let's give you this info. You would have more than enough room to take everybody on this ship and the required Count's people and more people if you wanted to. The ship is pretty large and ostentatious.
in my estimation, and in the discussions I've had with Keg and with the others, the Utrecht crew are willing to stay on. I have a feeling that most of the Montaigne contingent would stay with Nanette, should the two crews continue to serve together. Am I wrong in that?
They have not expressed any reason to be elsewhere. Some will remain in La Buca, the ones that are serving as passengers. They will remain in my employ, but not on the ship.
Okay. So I mean, I think we'll be all right with the crew, and I do feel better taking on most of this crew. If we do need to take on, do you believe we'll need more, Andreas?
Disrespect to any of the Montaigne or the Utrecht's crew. None of them are pure fighters. I think we'll need to get some Marines.
What do you mean by
Just
pure fighter? You mean someone who does not sail as well?
well, yes, partially that. I mean, I don't sail, but we are going to need some people who will be able to act as a boarding party. So I think we'll need some Marines, a
Well,
contingent of Marines to get on board.
that's fine. I will say that though they may look like they're just sailors, most of the older Utrecht crew are raiders. And I don't know if you've ever seen a Vesson raiding party, but if you had, you wouldn't be sitting here right now. I promise you. So just remember, um, appearances can be deceiving. But yes, if we need to pick up some Marines in Labuka, that would be fine. I just would like us to vet them a little bit.
Of course. No, I fully intended to vet any Marines we get on board. And the other thing I was thinking is I'd rather not take good, skilled hands from the positions they do better to raid other ships, to raid the other ship.
How familiar are you with pirates, Mr. Karis?
They've raided my family's. Raided my family's.
Okay, but have you ever been there when they've raided your family's ships?
I have not.
Okay. I'm just gonna let you know, when pirates do pirate things, pirates are almost always the entire crew goes on raids. That's just the way. It's all or nothing. Pirates are far more. I suppose the word that I would look for is democratic than most. They are all in it and they all take part. So again, we need to decide, I suppose, are we pirates or are we trying to do honest work here? Because I'll tell you, right now, it doesn't look like we're trying to do honest work.
Well, if what happened, I mean, this is Charles, by the way. He's standing there, kind of like pushing his glasses up. He says, "Well, I can't imagine we aren't being looked for, or at least y'all aren't being looked for. You aren't being looked for, um,
I hope he
because
says
of
y'all.
what happened. He's y'all. He's Southern, whatever. All of a sudden,
Southern Montaigne.
he's Avalonian.
Avalonian, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
there's a
right.
South in Avalon too.
There's a South in Avalon. I'll be
What he
sitting there
says
for
is,
it,
I
brother.
can't imagine that there isn't some sort of price on your heads now, considering what happened in Sharu's.
Oh, I'm quite confident there is. Whether they consider us mere thieves or pirates, we don't really get a choice in the matter. But seeing as we stole a ship, I'm pretty sure we're probably pirates. But we can fix that. I've watched Nanette talk us out of worse, so we could do whatever. I just want to understand the roles that we are to fulfill. If we're going to take on honest Marines that are going to do all of the fighting while the ship itself is crewed and manned by non-fighters, then that sounds more like privateering and less like pirates.
Legally, I'd prefer privateering.
Well,
Need I remind you of how the last battle went against Silent Death? It was not in our
terrible.
favor.
It was terrible. But we were also honest merchants at that point, and we did not fight like pirates. I'm not saying that. I'm not taking a side here. I just want to understand what our roles are, especially after we get to Labuka. At that point, if we switch ships, if we give over Fortuna to Evero, and we take whatever your ship is, the prize.
I don't even know yet.
The prize ship. We're going to have to find a way to get the price off our heads, especially if we want to perhaps pursue letters of marque from any of the nations that we might be able to get one, thus being able to do privateering work. Unless the Count can give us a letter of marque for Labuka, but I don't know I don't know how that would be regarded when we run into the Queen's people. Does anyone have an Avalon connection? Charles, do you have someone perhaps that we could reach out to, either in the college or another society that might be able to get us in with Elaine and or her people in her court to get a letter of marque?
It may take a little bit of time, but I think the Invisible College does have people in the major Avalonian cities, including the capital, the Queen's
And I
Seat.
go ahead. I
No, that
also
was
don't.
it. Queen's
Oh,
Seat.
okay.
Yeah.
I also don't see why we couldn't get one from the Sarmatian Commonwealth. It's not as though Montaigne is effectively on the other side of the world as far as they're concerned, and whatever price the Inquisition or Castile puts on our head doesn't exactly go across nations. So while much like what's his name, that I've heard the stories of him, Queen Elaine's man, he's considered a pirate to many, but to Avalon he's a
The
hero.
Sea Dogs. The Sea
The Sea
Dogs,
Dogs.
right?
There's no reason for us not to have a letter of marque from one place making us completely legal while someone else considers us a pirate.
That's true. I would just like to be as legal as possible. I mean, if we could get a letter of marque from all three nations, I think I'd feel better. And we don't know that Castile has necessarily put out a bounty for us, but we do know that the church will have. I mean, they're
yes.
pretty much in bed together. Yes, Gianni?
Oh no, I was just saying, definitely the church. Montaigne, it'll get around.
I mean, the church was the one who had the bounty on the net originally anyway. We have no
Yes.
proof that it was ever a nation. It was always just the church.
Mhm.
So, I'm just saying, we need to figure out what we're doing by the time we get to Labuka, and if we can have letters ready to send wherever we need to send them. I mean, I can send one to the marches, but actually, I could send one to the marches. I do have an inn, and actually, I have an inn maybe with Avalon too. But I mean, any nation that buys firearms, I know someone who could work a deal.
I can make some headway in Montaigne, I believe.
As yourself, or would you have to have a?
Through an
Thomas
intermediary.
looks over at you and he's like, "What are you talking about, Minnie? We literally just sailed away after burning down the church and stealing an Inquisition ship.
Wait,
Who
what-
you are
what
going
did
to
you-
talk to in Montaigne?
Wait, can we go back to that nickname? What was that?
Let's
Nini?
not mention that again. But while we did so, it was partially in defense of Charus. If there is a connection between what the church was doing and the ongoing war, like some note we found earlier, perhaps that would be an opportunity for
The
the Emperor to
Musketeers.
grant us
You
some
would
leniency.
probably, Thomas says, you would probably have to go and talk to the Emperor himself
Well, if
and
it comes
convince
to
him
that,
that what you were doing was for the good of Montaigne.
And
And
did you hear that rousing speech she gave on the bowsprit? I mean, how could it not be? She's so patriotic. Everything she's done has been for the glory of Montaigne and the sun herself.
and there's no love lost between the Emperor and
Villanova,
the church. The Musketeers were protecting the Emperor from the church that night.
Yeah.
Which is
it is a bit of a stretch, but I think we could probably at least make the attempt, if anything.
I am 100% fine with making the attempt. What's the worst that could happen? I mean, if we already have a bounty on our heads, that's
And
what
Charles starts to open his mouth, and then you continue.
No,
You're like,
no.
"What's the worst?" And then Charles
I
starts to
mean,
be like,
I understand, Charles, that there is always something worse that could happen. I am referring specifically to us writing letters, seeking letters of marque from the key nations that are currently poised against. Is it the Daci or Castile that the war? I don't even.
Castile is who we're
Well,
with.
Castile and Montaigne.
"Yeah, the Inquisition." But
Montaigne.
Villanova has
Oh, that's
apparently, and Faudaci, Villanova specifically has apparently gotten himself involved somehow.
Yeah,
with
yes,
the
we
church.
yes, so we do know that Villanova, which I would assume would also mean to some extent Vidachi as has made a quiet claim on the side of Castile in that
The
regard.
merchant princes usually work independently to
They
further their
do.
own ends.
They do. I wouldn't I would just be careful. Knowing the things that we know about the Villanova and about our current antagonist, I would just be careful. That's all. I mean, technically, Gianni, your family is.
I've got
We
troubles.
can't use any of that, right?
Which part?
Well,
Uh,
the part where you have a very very famous last name by blood.
yeah, yeah. It's a bit more messed up than that. The waters are definitely muddied around. You see, it turns out I maybe myself descended from the original wearer of the gauntlet.
The bracer.
Eh,
I I'm still pissed that I didn't let you wear it. Why did I put it on? I should have let you put it on, but I had no idea.
you're brave and had the gumption to do it.
Yes. Yeah. Hmm. Brave. Bravery is often
What
confused with stupidity.
Charles goes, "What do you mean, Gianni?"
The
Oh, you haven't heard.
No.
No.
okay.
What's going on?
God damn it! I
Do you want me to tell him, or would you like to do it?
Let me pour
It's-
him a drink. It might help.
my head swims with this.
Now Charles's face is getting real nervous. He's like, "What am I about to be told?" Like,
Well,
You were his first love.
my
oh
father
my god.
is was the youngest brother of the
Giovanni.
Giovanni Villanova.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he is the father of Silent Death.
Excuse me?
He is the father of Silent Death.
Giovanni is the father of Silent Death,
Yes.
not Gianni's father.
Yeah,
They're not
no,
direct.
I'm not,
They're
I'm
not
the father
directly
of that.
brothers.
They're half brothers.
Wait, don't give.
I mean, they are brothers. I mean, they share a mom.
Yes.
But that was Gianni's story to tell.
Oh, sorry. Well, I didn't think he was gonna say it. I got excited. Please go on, Gianni.
Well, yes, my mother had me with Giovanni's
Yeah, Giovanni.
Giovanni's. Yeah, and that's Silent Death. And then there's me with the younger brother. And then my mother's family, it looks like that is the side of the family that could control the bracer. Not the Villanova.
I'm going to lean over to Gianni, which I assume he's sitting near me because he is technically my second lieutenant. And I'm going to very quietly as I possibly can, so that no one else can hear. And I'm going to say, "Do you think you might need to mention your little special ability that you don't like to talk about?"
Are you asking me if I want to talk about that?
Yeah, I'm asking.
Oh, yeah.
Ace brings it up to
Out of
Gianni.
character, only Tomas doesn't know about it.
Does
I think
Charles know
Gianni's
about
already.
it?
I think didn't Gianni mention it with Charles and all of us in the room?
I don't think I have.
I don't think Charles was in the room
I
with
don't
us.
think he has.
Okay,
I
maybe
don't
not
think-
Charles. Then. Never mind.
Yeah.
Because Gianni was very particular that he did not want anybody to know.
Yeah.
So,
Y'all know and his mom knows.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
also on my mother's side of the family, it turns out that the men can become sorte, strega.
Hmm.
That's it. That's it. That.
I was like, you're not nearly
That's
as blown away by this as I feel you
Well,
should be.
what you see is like it's like calculating. It's like he's trying to put stuff together. Is what it
Processing.
is. So it's more, yeah, it's more like yeah, he's like processing that. It's like loading.
His
Loading.
irises are all like
Sure, he's got
rainbow
the little
rolls.
beach ball on the Macintosh.
Yeah, he's
Charles, what we're concerned about is that we think Silent Death can do it too.
Oh, we know he can.
We do?
Oh yes. Now we're very sure that he can.
Apparently, we're very sure that he can. Which sucks. No lie.
Yeah. The thing that he did to his ship. That I said his ship covered with webs. That was some sort of alarm system. I've never seen before. Looks like it's something even I could do eventually. But,
Can you do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a crazy idea though.
I that's a lot. I mean, considering what we know about Sorte to begin with, this would change a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. If Giovanni Villanova, well, I guess it's your mother that comes through, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Right.
I was gonna say if Giovanni Villanova can just be spurting out fate witches everywhere he wants to go. It's a bad day for the rest of us. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But hopefully does your mother have family? Like sisters?
Not that she's talked to in quite some time.
But we don't know if they can also pass on this genetic whatever.
I know she has parents that are still alive. Don't know if she has any siblings.
Okay. Well, we're gonna operate under the impression that there's just the two of you. Yeah, it's a lot of suck, Charles. You've missed a lot while you've been gone. I hope you've enjoyed your time in the company of the Primavera Boy.
I, he says, yes. So what? So what is going to happen once we get to Labuka? Are you going to try to track down Sudden Death?
Silent Death is absolutely. We have made an agreement with Count Evero, or at least Lynette and Andreas have, that we are going to get the map that is technically Gianni's, because Gianni kind of claimed it and wanted it first.
Well, only because it would take me to the ship. But now we're all going there
that
anyway.
helps. Yeah, so our goal is to get the map, possibly get to the Carnival. I don't know how we're going to do that in any timely fashion unless Silent Death just absolutely gets held up. But if we could also get there, we promised the Count, if we could get it, that he could have like half of the riches of whatever we find there. So yeah, we're gonna go after Silent Death. Plus, he set that storm on Montaigne, and that's really shitty. And I told him we parted as peaceably as we could. When I gave him the bracer, I said, "Don't be shitty, and I won't have to get in your fucking way." But now he's been shitty, and I don't know what to do about that. So we do need to go handle some shit.
Speaking of Gianni, would you have any issues with me putting a bounty on your brother's head?
No?
A very large one.
How large we talking?
Maybe 500,000 guilders.
Very nice. That would be nice.
I
You're not
would
to be the
assume
first
that
person to bounty on him.
hopefully the biggest. I assume your uncle will retaliate in kind. He has far more assets than I do, unfortunately, but it is a gamble.
You know, the Villanovas piss off enough people outside of Vodachi and some in within that, you know, there is a chance that we could get some friends. Maybe build a bit of a fleet, bit of an
Well,
ally.
that is part of the hope that in forcing Monsieur Giovanni to commit such assets to a bounty on us, although he might do it from the church, either way, it will not be without a paper trail. And it might offer his enemies an opportunity.
Don't know.
Anyway, it is a passing thought.
There is. Well, I think we're all in agreement. I didn't hear Andreas say anything. What do you think about putting a bounty on him?
It's going to sound insane. I think the amount's too high. Even 50,000 put many people at you. I think you could do 100,000.
She said
Wait.
500,000.
Yeah.
I meant 50,000. Put it on. I was saying 500 is too much.
No, 50,000 is what he probably has, honestly, already on him.
50,000 is what they put on the net. Silent Death should have
At least
a
100.
far higher bounty than that.
Actually, that's a question. Would I have seen any of those? Would I know, since I'm in that whole trade thing? Do I know if he already has a bounty on him?
Oh, he has several. I mean, like, that's easy enough to know. He has several from all the stuff that he's done, of varying amounts, honestly, ranging from, 25,000 for something small to much higher. So I don't. I would say by your guesstimate, knowing what he has already, 5,000 is a hefty but legitimate amount to put on him.
500,000?
Yeah.
I would also say, without supernatural means, we're probably not going to get the bounties ahead of him.
Well, this is where our partnership with Count Evreux is very helpful, no?
We know he has.
He
at
has
least
the
one-
means to do, though.
That's true.
Absolutely.
He knows people everywhere.
And he
And I
can-
will front my own money.
And if it is to get the map for him, he'd probably be willing to do it, Charles says.
That's the hope.
Simply because I completely forgot to ask this. Did we see the devastation the hurricane caused on its way up the canal to hit Charus? Like, how did the land look?
It was pretty bad.
Okay.
Depending on the way that the storm traveled, that's the question. Depending on the way that the storm traveled, it might have traveled over continents and not necessarily the ocean based on where Silent Death was and where.
No, it came off the ocean.
Did it come off
It
the ocean?
definitely came-
Okay.
Mhm. He's sailing, so it would have come off the ocean.
Right, it's just where he was versus where the mouth of the river is
Right.
was
Well,
not
he
as-
was on
not
the.
as close.
Your brother had seen him do it on the ship, so.
Right. And I understand that, but I'm saying where his ship was versus where we were was more this line, not this line. Is all I was saying.
Magic.
Right.
Magic. Well, that's what I'm just saying. I mean, it makes more sense that he would know the meteorological necessitudes of sending it over the ocean first to build up a greater storm and then hit landfall.
Right. But in either case, there was quite a bit of damage along the canal as y'all
That's what I thought.
sailed through it. Yes.
But ultimately, we're going to Labuka.
Yes.
We should find allies. We should see if there's anybody willing to sail against him. And I guarantee he's got plenty of enemies, even amongst pirates. Yes? I mean, is that what you were saying, Ace?
Me?
Yeah, wasn't that you were saying?
I do think we need to find allies, yes. That if we put a bounty on his head, that maybe it will bring some people out of the woodwork, yes.
I think we ought to search around Labuka as well. I'm not saying that they're coming on the ship, I'm just saying...
No, it's true. again, this brings me back to my question: are we agreeing to, essentially work with known and established and reputed pirates, or are we trying to do this in a cleaner way? I don't care which way we choose. Labuka, we have no choice. Labuka is an island just full of rot and scum and villainy. It is the Mos Eisley of Thea. So if that's what we want, that's fine. We are casting our lot, and are pirates going to side against him? I know some will, but
Well, and Labuka is not the only pirates.
Captain O'Connor knew where to find it, so
Many
it is a
people go to
neutral
Labuka
port.
Because, yes, neutral port. Trade companies go there to dodge things, such as tariffs, wars.
okay. If you're confident in that, Gianni, being a wise man of the sea, yes, then please, I that's fine. But I'm just saying, we're gonna have to pick a side at some point, depending on who we pick up. If we can find enough pirates that will side against him, that would be good. And I'm sure there are some, but he's very successful at what he does, and people that are that successful don't just get there by,
Not
pissing it
having
away.
skill.
I just feel like my expectation is wherever we end up facing, Silent Death and possibly, Gianni Villanova himself. The Villanova have a fleet too.
Yeah. Yes, I know they do. Yes.
I don't think we have to be too discerning with enemies or allies.
That's fine. Okay. Please. By all means. Let's go get whatever allies we can get. We need them. So we're not doing it in this boat.
Truth.
Yeah, what you have now, if I remember correctly, is Nanette is having a boat built for the
Yes.
The
That is
Yeah.
as far as
And then you're-
I'm concerned, that is not a ship that we can call on. And Ace would say that.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying what you have kind of made around available or not or whatever. The things that
Yeah.
you all have acquired, not necessarily how you're going to use them. What you acquired is you have had that ship that's going to go to the convent. You have this one that you're on now, and then of course the one that Andreas won. So, I mean, yeah, you could use this one or the count ship, or you have plenty of money to have something constructed or buy something that's more to your liking. You
Well,
probably
I
don't
think-
have time to.
We just
something
won't have.
built.
It won't be time.
There won't be time to build anything and get
No,
to
that's-
Silent Death before he raises
It's-
the carnival.
That
It's
is
much
months, if not
cheaper
years.
to just pay for the services of existing ships and crew by way of stupid amounts of money.
Right.
Yeah.
Contractors, as it were.
And that's a discussion that I think has to wait until we get to Glabuka and talk to the Count.
Agreed.
I don't think we can make that decision here at this dinner table, regardless of whether or not it's upsetting my digestion. I have no idea what we're going to choose to do when we get there, or what our crew is going to choose to do. That's the other thing that we do have to that we will have to discuss. So right now, the crew of the Utrecht, I believe, is signed on. They will probably go with me wherever I ask them to go. I've known a lot of them for at least a few years, and some of them even before that. But they have never been pirates. They were honest merchants that were sunk by a pirate. But what we have going for us is that they hate Silent Death, and they would like to see that fucker burn. So if I sell it that way, they'll probably be on board for whatever we have to do. They were willing to take out the Inquisition ship, but taking out a ship that's moored in harbor is one thing.
If
The
it-
battle on the open seas.
If it is any consolation, for now we are pirates, but that will likely change with some effort and negotiation. but we need to move quickly.
I agree.
So I also agree this is something to have on our minds, to mull over and think about and potentially work on.
So we have roughly 4 or 5 days before we hit Labuka, depending on what route we end up taking.
Yeah.
So I just think if that's where we are, if we're all in agreement that the big decisions have to wait until then I say the bounty is a good idea. We're probably giving the ship over if the Count wants it, which he probably will, and we try to find friends.
Can we keep one thing from the ship? That's the best outhouse seat. That's the best seat I've ever had for an outhouse. I'm just
That's our
saying.
seat anyway.
Yeah,
named it.
we're keeping that. We're definitely keeping that.
I mean, I'd like it to be cleaned thoroughly.
Oh,
before we take it
definitely,
off.
definitely. But it is easily the best one. So comfortable.
The Vesson aren't used to this Montaigne.
Okay. All right. Cool. So, I assume you all passed the dinner time. Enjoying the food.
Yeah,
Well,
I called
some
for
of you
dessert and we stopped talking about business.
Yeah, and this is actually the first time all of you have just really sat and talked, I guess. Now that you have a plan and there's nothing else you can do, you are now kind of, at this point, there's no crisis at the second. So, how do you feel your character's reacting to that?
What, not having anything to do and not dying for a couple days?
Right.
Exciting.
I think
Gotta make drama by ourselves. Just start shit amongst each other.
Oh, well, yeah, the best.
I think
Yeah.
I was gonna say I think Andreas starts telling telling stories of his of his youth, of his pseudo misfit youth, of like skating on the streets of his hometown when they freeze over in the winter.
Mm-hmm.
And he
That's
swears, although I'm sure no one believes him, that there's a bear that lives in the town square. An absolutely massive bear.
Where does it live?
In the town square. Like we have there's always a feast table set out, and different families take it, but you can go up and you can eat at the food. But then occasionally the bear, literally it's giant. It is the biggest bear you will ever see. And it just walks out. It'll like walk up and it'll grab like something and eat and then go and just it lives there. That's where it's home. Year round.
Are you serious?
Completely.
You smile too much.
No. I am dead serious.
Were you drunk?
No. Because it was there when I was sober.
Are you?
I'm a little in my cups now, I'll admit that.
Yeah.
Admittedly, we've all seen things that perhaps others cannot see. Maybe it was.
And that's good stuff because Guillaume found the Cardinal's wine supply. So whatever you're drinking is, pretty
It's
good.
strong.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Alma.
But
Keep going.
really, it is. It is. It just lives there. But what does suck is that there are some people that do not like the skating during the winter, and so what they'll do is they'll throw pebbles on the street, so we fall over, so that so the people will fall over.
That's terrible.
It is.
Is this in real life?
No, it's an
No,
Andreas story
Oh, okay.
of his childhood.
Andreas is telling
He was
stories
in-
of his childhood, including the giant bear that lives in his town square.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm just wow.
Yeah. Okay.
A-
So
Ace reloads her pipe and keeps smoking because
yeah.
something's not.
You know,
So
why is it that for everything we've gone through, everything we've heard, the bear is the most outrageous thing?
Because people are dicks.
Bears don't just live in the center of town. It's
There's according to legend, it's a spirit because it's always been there. No one remembers when it came here, when it started living there. No, like so, we think maybe it's a spirit or something, but we don't know. We always feed it, and
It's probably smart. You know, I've heard really strange tales of monsters from Iceland that I've met. Creatures that defy description. Humanoid, but not humanoid. Giant, spindly legs. And they exist, according to them.
Well, there's some weird shit in Eisen, that's for sure. I don't like going
So,
there. We didn't go there often.
yeah. So you all while away, I guess, after dinner, talking, smoking pipe, having coffee, whatever. I suppose eventually, y'all will wander off. And who do you think of the people would be the first to decide to go to bed of the three of you? Charles and Tomas hang around for a little while, but they end
They
up
excuse themselves
going.
to get that cruise quarters to themselves for a little bit.
What the?
I'm
No
sorry.
shame.
to
I'm sorry.
hold
You're
I'm
not
hands.
sorry.
Base,
I'm
yeah.
sorry. Please.
Chastely
I'm sorry,
hold
I'm being
hands.
Chase Lee. Charles probably is like, I need to write stuff down, and that's why he does it.
Yeah,
And
you just
Tomas
learned
is
a
like,
whole
this
heck
has
of
to
a
be an
lot.
excuse for us to be off and be quiet. And really, he just goes and writes stuff down. And Tomas is like,
Damn it!
That wasn't a euphemism?
No, what? Anyway, yeah. So they end up going back to their bunks, their place, their room, whatever they have. And then it's the three of you. I assume. I mean, this is Ace's room, so she's going to be staying there, obviously. So yeah, I mean, do y'all decide to like leave together? Or does somebody ask to hang out a little bit more? Like what is the general vibe by the end of the evening?
What's
I
the
guess.
vibe by the end of the evening? Ace is not rushing y'all off, but she's just sitting there smoking her pipe, drinking.
Ninette's probably gonna tuck in early. Or at least be the first to leave. Or politely excuse herself that there are duties to be done.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
My apologies, Captain, if I overstepped myself today.
You don't have to call me captain. That's a formality that's unnecessary when we are away from the crew.
Is it that's what you want me to call me though, or me to call you?
No,
Ace?
you can call me Ace. Yeah, you can call me Ace. That's fine. That's what you've always called me.
I know.
That's fine. Yeah. But no, you didn't overstep anything.
I'd like to stay on.
You'd like to stay on
On
crew?
on crew, yeah.
Of course.
I don't think I'm going back to the mainland permanently, ever. The reputation that I probably have gotten after Shurus is I can't go back.
Why do you say that?
The power that I have, and people are going to be after me now.
Who knows, though?
All of about 80 members of the Inquisition.
Oh well. Yes. Okay. You are more than welcome to stay on wherever I go, but I do wish you to know that I absolutely do not plan to be captain after we disembark this boat. So, but you have proven yourself, while a bit of a liability at times, you have proven yourself to be a good friend and a good companion through all of the crap that we've been through. And I do owe you an apology for pulling a gun on you when I first met you. That was hasty on my part, more than a little arrogant and short-sighted.
I do not blame you. I see the world a little bit differently now. But I'm going to learn. I'm going to learn what it is to do ship things. So.
You would be a fantastic. You would be fantastic up in the rigging.
Oh God, maybe the rigging, but not the crow's nest. If
I'm
there's
not
one
gonna
thing I've
put you
learned-
up. I'm not gonna put you up there. No, you seem more like the type that likes to hold on to ropes and things. So I think you would be great, like helping.
A topsman.
Yeah,
The
you would be a
mountain tops.
topman, and you would be helping the master of sail, which is one of Nanette's people. I don't know how to say his name. She says it much better than I do, but
And the amount of times I have walked directly into a room only to be surrounded in my life, I am the last person you want to decide whether or where danger is. So,
well,
just saying.
I don't want you to ever think that that is a shortcoming. Most of us are pretty shit. I mean, that's the whole point of ambushes. If everybody was good at finding danger, then ambushes wouldn't be a problem. No, I would be honored to have you on my crew as a fellow and as a friend.
Thank you. And just call me Gianni. I think you already do. But I've got 3 last names, and I don't really feel attached to any of them. So
I will call you Gianni. And, in the sake of honesty, are we alone or is Andreas still here?
Said I'd left.
You're gone? Okay.
I can leave if you would prefer this to be a private.
No, did you say that you
Yeah,
left?
we
I had not left. I was.
That's
kinda
fine. You
sitting
you
there.
can be here. That's fine
Yeah.
if he's okay with it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
For the sake of trust building, I will let you know that, of course, as I'm sure you assumed, Ace is my trade name. Generally, we don't give out our other names unless we feel particularly, unless we deem someone worthy of having it. And I apologize that I have not deemed any of you worthy of having it until now, but my name is Amelia. And I am Amelia McJohnson. And my father is
yeah, wait. Karis, Andreas would probably recognize the name for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if, I
He's-
don't think Nanette would or Gianni would, but
One?
Andreas would definitely recognize the name
McYansen.
McYansen.
Oh
Because
yeah.
it's
He's one of the
prominent
foremost-
gunsmith. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gunsmith
Andreas's eyes would just open a bit.
from the Martian.
So yeah, that's my name.
are
Ace
you
is still
serious? Your name is not Ace. Like,
I mean, it is. It is. They've called me that for many years. I mean, I've been winning marksmanship
What
tournaments since I was like 15. So the name kind of stuck, and then when I joined the ship, they just took it. You might hear people call me other things, but I really don't like those. But you can call me Amelia, or you can call me Ace. I prefer Ace.
Ace
But-
it is.
So yes.
I really thought your name was Ace.
I mean, it is. Let's leave it at that. But
But
there.
I have fish to go gut. I told them that I would help tonight while everybody was
in the
sleeping.
kitchen. Or
Yes.
nice. Good. I'm glad. It's important that one of the senior staff really makes friends with the rest of them, and I've never been one for gutting fish if I can help it. So, thank you, Gianni, for taking that one for the team.
I feel like, with my luck, if I ever end up in the ship by myself, like or floating by myself, I should be able to know how to feed myself.
That's true. I've not been the same since Gun made me bite the head off a herring on my first journey on the Utrecht, and I've never recovered. So I don't even care for fish.
Hazing vesting style. Woo 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 woo.
That happened to me last night. So you tell me that was not something I was supposed to do.
I mean, well, if Keg was gonna make you do it, then I would do it. He's a big boy. But no, it's gross. it's pretty bad. I can still.
I have somebody I have to go talk to. I'll be right back. And he walks out.
Graves is just just dying laughing.
All right.
And he'll go. And when they're there, Andreas will look over and so, as Ace has like had the whole like air like I'm in charge, but I don't want to be the captain, like that whole air.
Yeah, absolutely.
And,
That whole
so-
air.
Yeah.
That's her feeling.
The aura, if you will.
Yes. The
Andreas is
odor.
gonna look. So I'm gonna guess that for the next ship, you are not going to want to be captain.
I mean, it's nice. I assumed you would be captain of your ship, Andres.
I mean, my family owns many ships, but not many of us are captains. So
Well, I
I-
mean, the captain doesn't always mean like, I don't know. I mean, I would be if you would want me to be, but it's certainly new, and coming from the crow's nest to captain in 2 weeks of hell has been an interesting journey. So I just didn't know if I was ready for it, but it seems to be going okay.
if you would prefer, I
Field
can.
commissions. Field commissions are a thing.
If you would prefer, I can be the captain of whatever ship I end up owning. But I will need a good first mate, someone who I trust with my life, and who I know knows all the things I don't know about a ship. Would you be willing to do that?
Absolutely. I mean, you know my name now. Now you can do whatever you want. It's like that old Fey tale about Rumpelstiltskin. Now that you know my name, I'm not Fey though, so don't worry about that. True.
I very much respect the trade name. In the letter I wrote, I used many of them.
I honestly thought you were just gonna. I mean, if you're my captain and I become your first mate, are you gonna change my trade name to Wrench?
No.
That still hurts. Thanks, but whatever. I was trying to be good, Andreas. I was just upset.
Growing pains. It was growing pains.
Yeah.
We've had a lot these past weeks. Okay. But it's late.
It is late, but I appreciate your company, and like I said, with that with the trade name, keep that between the three of us.
Denise, I respect your wishes.
Thank you, sir.
And he will leave. Probably spend a little bit more time away because he's anxiously awaiting a return letter.
So is the Davis gone while he's delivering the letter, and he'll bring back the reply?
No, he just
Okay.
did it with his power. Although Andreas
I was
didn't
just
ask
wondering.
him to bring a response back. He
No,
just told
no.
him to send them.
He fully expects someone else to make it to do something to bring it back because that
Okay,
would be how that could
to
be.
bring it.
Yeah, that someone else would use their own Davis to get a missive back to him.
Well, I'm
I'd
just
like to
saying it's not
imagine-
going to be
Yeah.
that does it.
I'd
There's
like to
probably someone
imagine.
who has that deal at this point. They're like, just do it. We've already agreed to this.
Go ahead, Alan. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say I like to imagine that the Davis was at the dinner table with us the entire time, had a little place and everything. Just kind of sat there.
Kind of sat there watching everything. Yeah.
Whispering in the
He
next ear
was-
the
he
entire
was
time.
like,
I can make you
Moodle.
taste that.
Yeah.
Everything that Ace didn't want or couldn't identify on the plate, she just kind of handed over into his little saucer.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So yeah. So Nanette had gone back to her room relatively a little earlier, and Gianni and Andreas left a little bit later. Gianni had to run and go and be like, "Hold on, I'm gonna go talk to somebody. Be right back." and Andreas had gone back to his room. So, Nanette, you're heading back. Go ahead and give me a wits and notice, please.
I love those. Okay.
Please.
Oh, those are my favorite. Sorry you're not me, babe.
You're one of a kind. Three successes and one die left over.
Okay, so you are walking back. Oh, by the way, Rue and John, please take a hero point for that amazing scene you just had.
Oh, thank you.
Each.
Thank you.
Okay. So, yeah, you're walking back to your room, through, your quarters. Does she have her own, did you guys decide if she had her own, room, or is she in the medical,
She's in the
setup
infirmary.
area?
Yeah, there's an
There.
in the infirmary. There's a curtained off area where kind of the previous ship surgeon uses the sleeping quarters, and that's where she's kind of
Or the ship surgeon slept.
yep, where she's
that's
hunkering
it.
down.
Okay, so you're heading back there, and you see Squeak looking very furtive as you see him cross your path in the hallway, or a little ways down, you see him kind of go past, and it kind of prickles the what's happening. And it is very late. By all right, this kid they should be in bed.
Yeah, just gonna follow him, just to make sure that he's all right.
Okay. So are you gonna follow him so he doesn't know you there, or you're gonna try to catch up with him and talk to him, or?
Initially just follow him so he doesn't know she's there. But if looks like he's up to no good, then probably announce her presence and.
Okay.
Ask him what he's doing.
Let's go ahead and do. Maybe if I held the book the correct way, that would be more helpful. So let's do a finesse, and we'll do hide, because you're trying to be stealthy. Finesse and hide. You'll need at least one success, so to do it. 2 so he doesn't notice you. And yeah, it'll just be 2. You need 2. 1 to do it, and 1 so he doesn't notice you.
Yeah, 3 successes because I rolled surprisingly well. But
Cool. Yeah, so you follow him, and he is looking very suspicious child. Looking ahead of him, and he looks back a couple times, but you manage to duck in somewhere. So
she grew up with Tomas, so she's
Yeah.
sort of used to children behaving in a not necessarily badly, but mischievously. So she's gonna just keep an eye out just to make sure it's nothing setting anything on fire.
Right. So you follow, and he ducks into one of the storage rooms. And quietly clicks the door behind him.
She gives him about 2-3 minutes before knocking on the storage room door.
You don't hear anything.
I know you're in there, Monsieur Squeak. Might I have a word?
And he peeks out around the door. Don't tell Pip that I came down here.
Your secret is safe with me. Is everything all right?
Yeah. Everything's fine. You're like...
X to doubt that, but...
X doubt.
But I don't want to inform anyone of anything going wrong, so Would you like to tell me what's going on?
And he like opens the door and lets you in, and then he kind of looks out and shuts it again. Behind you, and now you're in this like little storage room. Storage room. It's got like it's not like a pantry or anything, but it's like a ship supply room. Just a small ship supply room. And he goes over to like a corner, and he pulls on this board. And he pulls it out, and there's like a space underneath there.
Fascinating. That didn't come up in our earlier search of the ship. This is a wonderful find, I hope.
Are you gonna like go and look in it, or are you gonna?
Sure, she'll sort of follow him just to see, because I'm presuming he is trying to show her what he found.
Yeah, he opened it up, and you look in, and it's like it's like a bunch of random things, like things like boys would pick up, like a treasure, like a rock that shouldn't be there, or like a button, or like a ball, or like whatever. But also in there is some letters, actually, that don't look like anything like the other stuff.
What do you have here? Is this your secret pirate hoard?
Yeah, I found it. It was here. I didn't do it. I didn't break the ship. I didn't.
It is the Inquisition ships. We can break it all we want. Were there letters there before?
I was in here, and I had Mr. Guillaume. He said I couldn't have any of the fruit that he was making to dinner, but I may have gotten some and brought it in here to eat. And I was here, and I dropped it. And when I dropped it, I saw the juice and stuff going into the board, and I was trying to like clean it up so nobody would know that I was in here, because it was going to get sticky. And then the board came up, and these letters were in there, and I didn't move them or anything. I just put my stuff in here too.
Do you mind if I take those letters? In exchange, I will make sure that Monsieur Guillaume gives you double the share of food at tomorrow's dinner.
Okay, and he reaches in and hands it. He's like, I can't read them anyway.
That is quite all right. I'm sure we can find someone who can. But thank you. And if you find anything else like this, will you let me or the captain know? It might be very important.
Okay, I don't want to get in trouble though. Like
But
Pip said that I would get like in a lot of trouble for so I put it here and didn't tell him where I put it.
I don't think you need to worry about trouble among pirates.
Are we pirates?
Don't tell the captain. But we are.
Okay.
For now.
Okay.
It is okay to break a little rule, but still, you should let an adult know if you find something like this, in case it is dangerous. In case it is a trap left behind by the Inquisition. Our mortal enemies.
Oh. Would they do that?
Oh yes, they're quite wicked. Have you seen Monsieur Thomas and some of the scars that he tries to hide?
Uh-huh. He has scars. Thomas does wear like shirt most of the time.
He's sensitive about them, but they are quite wicked. Especially to handsome young lads that get in the way.
So he has scars? from the church people?
He does, yes.
Oh.
They can be cruel. That is why I warn you that it might be dangerous if you find something that they might have hidden on the ship.
Okay.
So you must let one of us know. I mean, you trust the captain, yes? She has been your friend for a long time.
Yes. Yes.
Good.
I didn't have to call her captain though then. But Mr. Keg says I have to now.
It's the polite thing to do. But if you don't wish to tell the captain, you can tell Monsieur Keg.
Okay.
Are we in agreement?
Yes, Miss Paninette.
You are a sweet boy. Thank you for telling me this. And I know I said extra food rations tomorrow, but I think you can earn them for the day after as well.
Thank you, Miss Nanette.
Fine.
And he puts the thing down. He's like, I gotta go back before Pip knows I'm gone. Oh, I
Please let
almost
us know if you
forgot.
find anything else.
He pulls out some sort of fabric that he had found somewhere and drops it in the hole. and puts the thing back on the hole. Puts the board back on the hole.
Don't forget to have a map to your secret treasure. Otherwise, you might have trouble finding it again later.
Oh God, somebody on
Like
the
a
ship's
proper
gonna find
pirate.
it. Somebody on the ship's gonna find it and think it's a legit treasure map somewhere else.
Sudden death at Villanova.
Oh, there's
What were they
there's-
planning?
They
There's
were like,
the ploy.
"What?"
There's the ploy. We replaced the maps to the Carnival with the map to the treasure on the Fortuna.
And then they're just standing there on the Fortuna, looking down at the hole, like, what the fuck is
I don't
this?
know.
Is this
Everything
kind
in
of
here
joke?
is sticky, and what's this fabric? Somebody got
Does it
like
mean
orange juice on the velveteen.
Yeah, so he puts it down, and then he he like looks down both the hallway, and he runs off and sneaks off down the hallway.
Is it in a language Nanette can read?
It is in Castilian.
Then yes. Oh, fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
She'll probably flip through them and then will likely bring it to the attention of the captain and the first mate.
You
This is
suspect
proper.
that these are the Cardinal's letters.
Are they saucy?
These are for or from the Cardinal, one or the other, by the look at the writing.
Does
Oh, are
Nanette
they-
know the Cardinal's writing?
Are they signed in any way? Just to differentiate that various
open
handwritings.
Or are you just
yeah.
on the?
Oh yeah. She'll open one just to glance through, just to see if it is anything of
Just on the
value.
off chance that we need to differentiate and not forge something.
Mostly differentiate so we can, if he's had letters with Villanova and it's Villanova's handwriting on the letter that you found, kind of, committing war crimes against Charus, then
I understand.
CSI.
These are not signed, and they don't have a name as to who they are to either. It's just it's a missive. It kind of just starts out with greetings, and
Earthling.
it basically, the first one you pick, there's like greetings of some sort, but no names. But Nanette, I mean, since you've been on board, you have seen plenty of stuff that the Cardinal would have written down, so that's why you suspect. I mean, of the past few days you've been here, so that's why you suspect that this might be, because it looks familiar. But what you get something. The first one you look at talks about and basically confirms what Charles said, and talks about that they were looking for something specific on the Carnival. It's basically you know what we're after, and we have set plans in motion to bring up the carnival and basically kind of a general like update on how that's going. That they have located the other part of the bracer. There's no date on it, but you suspect this was probably a while ago by the look of the age of the letter and the paper and all of that. You know, a few months ago, or maybe even a year. Who knows? But it obviously wasn't a fresh letter of sorts. Do you continue on, or at this point, are you going to bring them to somebody?
At this point, it's probably worth the captain's attention. So she will
Okay.
go knock on Ace's quarters.
Okay. Ace, if you were still up or smoking, or if you'd
I
gotten
am
in
probably
bed.
smoking and getting ready for bed. Just a minute. Just a minute. Hello? Yes? Oh.
Captain, a moment of your time. There are some things that were discovered tonight.
Oh.
And she just holds out a stack of letters.
Oh. Okay. Would you like to come in?
Ace's disappointed face. Just discovered tonight, really? Oh, damn it.
Okay. Would you like to come in?
It might be wise for me to go get the others. If you wish to flip through them.
Sure.
But
That would be fine. Let me take these. You go get the others, and I shut the door. I take the letters, and I shut the door. So.
Yeah.
then we'll go get the boys. Just
Okay.
they're all like getting ready for bed, and Nanette's like, can you meet us back in the captain's quarters?
Andreas is on deck, so probably would be quick enough to get him. And he will politely knock on the door when he gets there.
Please come in. We are having another meeting. And I sit down behind.
Yay.
I have sat behind the desk, and I just leave the door open, and I have gotten redressed. I had not completely undressed, but I was definitely loosening everything, and now I'm back in captain mode. So.
Did somebody get me, or?
Yeah, she
Yeah.
Nanette would try to find you
both
eventually. It's a big ship, but we can find you.
I would
follow the
mention.
sounds.
Galley.
I'd be like, Johnny's in the galley. He's helping the staff, the night staff, fillet fish.
Charming. I should go get him.
He's going to
is-
smell lovely. So.
Oh, yes, I will be ready for that.
Imagining the I'm just imagining like one of the Vestin like cook's assistants is in there. It's like, no. Everyone you do, you have to pop at least one eye in your mouth.
Oh God.
I'm not falling for that again.
Yeah.
I'm not
Ace told me. I'm not falling for that. No.
And that's like, Gianni, I see you are not busy. Would you like to come to the captain's quarters? Oh, you're having the eye eating thing. This is a tradition, I was told. Have you not had?
What? Okay, now I'm completely confused because I've got like. So many
Refreshing.
directions.
Why don't you accompany me?
Okay. 1 second.
Yeah.
And he walks over, cleans off his hands as well as he can, and then starts to follow.
So everybody eventually arrives back at your cabin, Ace.
She's got like glasses on and she's reading.
Oh, what?
You have glasses, you can see that.
Glasses cabin.
I can see a mile away, but I can't read
I
fine
can't
print.
read anything in front of me. No, I'm joking. But yeah, she's looking at the letters. She's opened like all of them.
Okay.
It's fun.
Alright.
It's like Christmas.
Does
So
does
let me
Ace know
Go this
Castilian?
way.
No, but I've opened all of them looking for one I can read.
Oh.
Are any of them
It's all
written in
in
Avalonian or
Castilian.
Thayan or Besson?
No. They are all Castilian.
Well, I'm going to study the handwriting and compare it with the other note I have.
Yeah. I mean,
I'll
it looks
pull it
very
out.
similar.
So,
Yeah.
I have no idea what any of this says, but Nanette seemed to think that it was
Right.
important. So please enlighten me.
Okay.
Sure.
Uh, so I assume you all get back there and you hand over the letters to somebody who can read Castilian.
I'm going to hand one out to each of them, and we're going to try to tell a story. Team building. No, yeah, I'm
Okay.
gonna hand him over. I know Andreas can read anything, and I know Nanette can also read Castilian.
And
Johnny,
Gianni
can you
can
read
also.
Castilian?
I do.
Yeah.
So
You're the
you
only
all
one who
can read everything. Okay, so yeah, how many letters are in the stack?
It is about 5 or 6, not many.
Okay, then you each get 2. And I'm going to pull out paper of my own and ink, and I am going to take notes as you read them to me.
Okay. I will explain what the 3 of you read and gather from the letters. So yes, of course, what I already said about the fact that the church was after the bracers, and for something, they were after something specific on the Carnival, so they were getting the bracers as part of their plan to try and get them. You also gather that they were indeed working with Villanova and Silent Death. There's mention of contacting them, not in so much direct, but context clues and things that they mention. Definitely, it becomes clear that they had, they talk about, somebody from the bloodline who can use the bracers and getting them in their employ so that they can, and then it's pretty obvious the Inquisition was going to, trying to use Villanova and Silent Death to get the Carnival, and then take whatever it is they wanted off of it, and that was kind of it. You get the impression that the Inquisition was really using Villanova and Silent Death for their own purposes. But the last couple letters, you gather that the Inquisition started to suspect that Villanova and Silent Death were planning something, and may have potential to betray them in some kind of way. So they were concerned about that, and they were trying to figure out a way that they could be for sure, have some sort of insurance policy that Silent Death and Villanova were not going to betray them.
Does it say anything in there, to whomever has that letter, does it say anything in there as to what the insurance policy was?
It did not. It basically just said that they need to figure something out. And it seemed like a pretty urgent, came across the tone.
So, do you all think that the storm perhaps was the betrayal?
I think so. Yes.
I mean, that was our assumption, correct? When the storm came, that we thought that it was coming after the Cardinal.
Well, that was our assumption. But you saw there was another letter that you had as well.
There was. I found one in the Bible or whatever it was that was in the Book of the Prophets that was in the Cardinal's room. I would fish that out. I'd actually gotten it out to compare the handwriting.
Right.
Can we get a refresher on what that letter said?
I believe it was along similar lines. More plans.
It was more plans about getting the bracer to
Saru, so that it could be then given to basically the Inquisition were going to let the Invisible College set a transport for it.
That's right.
Because they knew they would do it undercover, and probably a ship that Silent Death could take easily.
Right.
So that they could get the other bracer.
Okay.
Which you kind of remember somebody trying to stop you from meeting up as well.
Yeah, very briefly. We were
way back then.
Yeah, we were I think we got stopped in Puerto del Sur when we were looking for but Ace was pretty fucked up, so we ended up bypassing that, I think, and then we ended up at the pot of gold again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, well, that's interesting. I wonder what their insurance policy was.
Perhaps a traitor among his crew?
I mean, that could be. I guess it doesn't really matter now, right?
Probably not, but I don't know. I don't know if there's an insurance policy they could have. I mean, technically, could they? You know, Villanova is a merchant prince who pays the Vaticine to overlook the things, their power levels, the things that they can do if they.
Right.
Could they? I mean, they could have done that. The other merchant princes would probably have turned them out for that. I don't know.
I will point out that they didn't say that they had an insurance policy, but that they needed to find something.
They needed to find one.
Yeah, they were concerned that Villanova and Silent Death were planning something, so they were like, we got to figure out how we can, if there's some way we can prevent that from happening. So you don't know whether they found one or not in time.
See, this is the problem with piracy, and I'm fine with being a pirate, but this is the problem with piracy, is you never know who you can trust. Ever. Somebody's always going to be ready to stab you in the back.
I don't think you have to be a pirate to suffer with that. Just spend a day in the life of mountain politics. It's basically like a free-for-all stab fest.
Some
that doesn't
really
sound
intense
right.
trade negotiations.
Well, that being the case.
As you are, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, it's not exclusive to piracy. It's
Yes, I understand what you're saying. I don't like politics either. I'm sorry.
Well,
They
as
are
you
the
are
worst.
discussing this in the cabin, you hear the cry go up of ship off the bow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be.
That we will take a break.
it's probably fine.
Of course it's fine.
You guys do not know what that word means in any context.
We use it sarcastically every single time.
Yep, we are the dog in the burning building. It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's all okay.
But yeah, we will take a break. The cry goes up that there is a ship off the bow, and we will take a break for 10 minutes.
There's a ship off the bow.
C10.
Welcome aboard, everybody. Welcome back. We are back. And we are at the point where they had found some letters, had gleaned a little bit of information from them, and then the cry went up that there was a ship spotted off the bow. So you're all in Ace's cabin. So how are we proceeding from here?
I think we're all going to the deck.
Piss. All right.
Get my swords.
Well, yeah, just
Should I distribute small arms to the crew?
not yet, but be ready. And I will throw on my jacket, and I will prop my hat at a jaunty angle, and I will step out onto the deck.
Gianni, do you still have your cardinal's outfit that you spent time procuring?
Oh, yes, technically I do.
If not, I have some of his clothes. I haven't converted all of them to dresses yet, but
No, just as a backup, okay. I'll run and get something.
So, you guys, you all go up onto the deck, And Ace, who would you expect to see up there in charge of the deck at this hour? After your 2 shifts.
Let me check my list. It's probably going to be trade name Hund.
Mm-hmm.
He is he's probably the one in charge of things right now.
Okay.
And yeah, he's a fairly thick cut Vesson. And yeah. What do you see? What do you see, Hund?
And he motions you over to the bow, and he hands you a spyglass. If you need it. I mean, you know.
I mean, it is nighttime.
Yeah. You do see on the horizon a ship. It looks like a smallish ship, a brig. From this distance. Do you want to make?
Do they have any
an
lights
ice
on? Do they have any lights
You
on?
do not. You do not. It's dark over there.
Okay. Can I say that we keep the lights doused at night?
Sure.
Okay.
Keep them low unless somebody like really needs it. They carry a lantern with them or
Right.
whatever, but-
I don't want to like advertise that we're out. Is our flag done, Doctor?
It is, yes.
So we've been flying it.
Well, like you said, it is very discreet, and she would have showed you, likely beforehand, that she had basically embroidered it with the same color thread as the flag, but the differentiation is only noticeable if you're basically right below it, where there's just a bit of, like, threading right under the satin stitch that reveals the modification that would suit the Davises' desires.
Fantastic. So looking at it, do I just see you said it's a smaller ship, it looks like a brig, and I see its profile on the horizon, so it doesn't look like it's coming at us, it's
Right.
sailing parallel with us. About how far would I estimate in the dark that this ship might be?
Probably a couple hours. 2 or 3 hours you'll be on it.
Okay.
Keep going in that direction.
Can I tell,
If you-
oh, go ahead.
I just said if you keep going in that direction.
Okay.
2 or 3 hours, then you will,
Can I tell anything about it?
Sure, go ahead and make a roll. You can use your eagle eyes if you want.
Oh, well, I have no other. 2, 3,
There's
So
some fish
what's
eyes
the
downstairs if you're hungry.
There's some fish eyes downstairs if I want to pop those for a little extra
Little
eye
snack.
power.
Look at the salt and vinegar chips of seafaring life.
Oh,
God.
shut the fuck
Ew.
up. Just shut
Ew.
up. You're fired. You're not the doctor anymore. I don't trust your judgment. Bonus die. What else do I got? I think that's it. Okay.
Andreas, also take a gander.
Okay, cool. Go ahead.
I landed one on my Pop Tart. What? Alright, this is the game where I have to add.
I believe in you. You can math this.
Oh, I can math this like a fucking boss. Here, it's pretty good, guys. I'm not gonna lie. You know what? Let's re-roll that boy because I can, and that was wonderful. So that is 15, 15, 15. Looks like. Oh wait. No, that doesn't. 15 and 2 left over. Or no, I'm sorry. That's
How many?
1, 2. Sorry. Yeah, I forgot what I was doing. I was.
Say, those are like
I have
Andreas
6
combat
plus 2
numbers.
left
Jesus.
over. 6 plus 2 left over.
Okay.
15. Yeah, sure.
I was adding to 15, and I was like, "Yep, that's a 15." So I forgot what I was speaking out loud. But
I
yeah,
was like, excuse me?
six with 2 left over. If you would like to buy them.
All right. The first thing I can tell you is that you're pretty sure that's a Ushuran ship
Oh shit!
out there, from what you can
Okay.
tell of the shape. The second thing you can see is that there is a name on the side of the ship. It says Rurik, Rurik. Third thing you notice is you don't see, well, you hadn't seen any lights, and you had noted that it was a brig. You also see, the third thing you see is that you don't see any movement at all along the deck. Like, you know, you might see, if you're, you know, you might see a little bit, like just something that catches your eye or anything, but you don't see any of that. The fourth thing you notice is that the rigging seems to be messed up, as if somebody wasn't tending to it.
Okay.
And that's the things that you can notice from this distance. Oh, and it does not look damaged at all, from what you can tell.
It just, the rigging just doesn't look right.
Yeah, doesn't look right.
Was that all 6?
I was 5, but I think that's about all I can tell you from this distance.
Can I? Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, can I? Is there any way? Can I tell at all if it seems like it's moving? Like, are its sails? Are its sails at full?
Sails are out.
Okay.
You know, it does seem like it is moving at least somewhat.
Okay. Well, I passed the spyglass back to Hund, and I'm like, I don't know if I like that. I don't like the looks of that. What do you think?
Go ahead, and everybody who would like to, who thinks they know relatively about, who might have knowledge of ships or things like that, anybody can go ahead and do a,
Is this because I demoted you, Hund, that you're not answering me? Are you mad? Are we not friends anymore?
No, it's because the GM needs to think.
Okay, that's fine.
Wits and sailing. Yeah, that'll be good for sure. I think that'd be the best one.
Can I do that too?
So wit. Yeah, everybody can.
Yeah,
I
Everybody
was hoping
can.
for scholarship.
As long as you told everybody what you were seeing. Did you tell everybody what you were seeing?
Did it
don't
sound
have
like I
sailing.
told everyone what I saw? No. Is everybody on deck now?
Yeah, I
followed you
assume
up.
everybody went with
Yeah,
you.
we were all
Yeah.
with you.
Okay. Well, friends,
What do
it's
your
a-
eyes see?
Yeah, I see a ship that seems to be moving, but seems like it might be fucked up. But it's not damaged. But I think it's a Ushuran ship called the Rurik.
Yeah.
And she turns to Andres and she says, "And if this has anything to do with that bastard that you killed in Labuka, you're fired." And she turns.
Wasn't it
Munchausen?
an Eisen that he?
No,
it
yeah,
was
he was
Ushuran.
Eisen.
Oh, was
No,
he?
he was Eisen.
The half Usuran was a
Oh,
secret
that's right.
room
That's right.
that we
Well.
didn't get to see.
That's right. That's right. So never mind. I don't say that.
I pull out
So
my.
that's something for everybody in the audience that didn't know that guy way back then was actually half Usuran.
It was a tidbit we got. I forgot we didn't know it in
Yeah.
yeah, I forgot he was Eisen. But you're right, Panzerhand.
I pull out my sortie deck, and I will be looking at the fate line leading to that ship, if there is one.
Mm-hmm.
So
There is
I'll go
not.
ahead and- That's interesting. I think we're safe, Captain, for the most part.
I got 4 with 1 left over on the sailing check.
3 with 1 left over.
You think we're safe?
I think we're safe.
You
for the
think
most
we're
part.
safe?
You just drew war upside down.
I
That's
know.
That's not what I want
Not
to see.
quite conflict. The thing is that there's no fight line to it. It's like we're not supposed to.
Like not at all? Like none? I mean, doesn't everybody have a fate line?
Well, fate lines are interactions between people. Those things that tie us to one another.
Are you wanting to have this conversation in front of Hund? Just out of curiosity.
At this point,
I'm sure you weren't spilling things you didn't want to spill in front of people you didn't spill them from.
I will.
Because right now it's you 4 and Hunt who had been, asked over to show the captain what was going on.
I start I'll say most of this in Montaigne. Does he seem to show any recognition for it?
Mm-mm.
There we go.
No. Okay.
Do you speak? You speak Montaigne, correct, Ace?
Excuse me, what?
Damn it. Okay, how about Avalonian? Huh?
I do that one.
I look over at Hunt. Does he seem to show any recognition with that?
No.
There we go.
He speaks Russian.
Does the net speak Avalonian?
it's all right.
I just run I keep up a running translation.
Why?
There are enough of us.
Fate lines
That's an asshole thing to do.
are those things that kind of stand between people and places that we're going to interact with.
Oh, okay.
The further away you are, the thinner they get. Especially those between the most inconsequential disappear. The one between those you know and love, they stay around. Like the one between my mother, I can find. But this is very odd.
So that is very odd, because if we were to interact with it, there would be some type of fate line, right? Is that what I'm understanding? Or it's
Should
just
be
an
if there's people there.
or it's just an inconsequential.
Should be, if people are there.
I look at Hund and
And had you asked him what he thought?
I had asked Hund, what do you think? Looking at that.
So, and then, Gianni, he looked like he was thinking about it. I guess he didn't expect you to ask him his opinion. So he thought about it for a second, and he said, well, if it does end up being something, we can probably take it. We're bigger. We don't have as many cannons, but, we could probably take it if something happens.
I mean, I appreciate the vote of confidence. I mean, it could be an ambush. I mean, the only thing that I can think that it might be doing is hiding another ship farther out, standing in a sight line, perhaps. As far as warfare strategies might go. But go ahead and set. I don't know sailing terms.
Intercept course?
Yeah,
Then,
intercept course. That's the one.
And
Indeed.
I will say, so I think war, right side up, is obvious.
But
War
it was
inverted
upside down.
is a warning of obstacles.
Even upside down?
Well, it's saying it's not like we're walking directly into danger.
Right,
It's not
right,
like
right,
the
right.
sword is pulled in front of us.
Okay.
But it is a warning.
Sure.
And
Well,
Fortuna can be a pain in the ass.
What if we just give it a wide berth? If you don't see anyone on it, maybe it is just an abandoned ship.
let us get a little closer. Let's sail for an intercept course.
Is there a way to pull up to it in a way that?
Let's just parallel park beside it. Is that what you're
Oh
asking?
no! I'm saying the exact opposite. A way that the guns would not be pointed at us.
Across the T.
Oh,
That-
so we
Well,
wouldn't
before
be
you
getting
guys-
broadsided.
Before y'all go any further, let me give you your wits and sailing info that y'all rolled for. So, Andreas, as y'all are talking, you had that like info and everything in the back of your mind, and then Andreas, Ace, and Gianni, you all got 3, right? 3 successes on that.
3 and 1.
You got 1.
No, 3 and 1 left over. You want to buy it?
I just want to know the successes. I don't care about the leftover. So you got 3. You got 3, Rue? John, you got 3?
No, I got 4.
4, 3. How many did you get, John?
I was just paying attention to the fate and using the sword say.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, you did that instead. Okay. So, and you got 2, and okay. So, Andreas and Ace, you remember a ship called the Rurik, hearing a story about it when you were, it hit your mind while you were in Charus and hearing people talk and, around the docks and all of that. And you didn't think anything of it at the time until you saw the name of the ship. But it was a ship that had gone missing about a month ago, from what you understand.
Interesting.
Oh.
Was the story that it just didn't return when it was supposed to, and so they assumed
Right.
it lost
Yeah,
its-
it was
okay.
supposed to be somewhere and it did not.
Okay. Well, is what I'm going to say, Hund, is set a course to intercept off the bow. Take us around so that we are out of, and keep us out of range of their cannons. If what we presume their cannon range would be, if it were fitted as it should be. And let's see if we can't get a little closer and take a better look at what exactly is going on.
Andreas is going to whisper when Hund is away, so quietly that no one else can hear it. If we're not seeing any activity, it could have been plague.
It could have been what?
Plague.
Oh, plague. Well, let's keep. That's why we're keeping a distance. We're not going. I'm giving no orders to board. We're gonna keep a way out.
Okay.
But I don't trust that there's
so-
nobody on it.
So he will go and do that, and leaving you 4 there. So you 4 can continue talking. You can go do something to prepare while you are pulling up to the ship. Whatever you would like to do.
Hund, let me know when I call this out as I turn away. Let me know when we are within 200 yards. How about that?
Yes, Captain. Cool.
I will
Then
go
I go-
prepare a fabric that might be able to at least minimize any inhaled substances in case it is a plague. Again, amongst ourselves,
Yeah.
quietly.
Just say it
It
in a
is a
language that no
precaution.
one understands. Ace won't understand it either. It's fine.
Yeah.
She's off doing doctoring things again. Okay, good.
Yes.
And I will go to my cabin.
Do not
Okay.
want to create panic in. I'll say that Highland.
No, that's
They
fine.
are
That's fine.
they are their crew. They understand the dangers of an unattended ship at sea and what it implies.
As we, I'm gonna go under and I'm gonna see if there's any. I'm gonna see if there's any notes about the Rurik anywhere in the, in any of the log books. that were left behind by the previous captain and navigators? Nothing? Okay. I'm a speed reader in Castilian. I think I know what Rurik looks like in Castilian. No,
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait down there. I'm gonna make sure my guns have shot. And yeah, I'm gonna put my baldric back on. It's got my like four or five little pistol holds in it, and I'm gonna load up and return to the deck.
Do you want me to pass out small arms to the crew?
Yes, sorry. I had a mental image of just like doll arms being handed out.
Arm.
You get an arm, and you get
You get an arm?
Smacking,
No, I knew
smacking sailors with little arms.
Yeah, it's just
Andreas
been a-
will head down, head below decks to the armor, to where we keep the small arms, and I'm assuming we're waking people at this point and start handing.
whatever the current crew is, which if I could make all that out, I would say that I at least had some decent moonlight. If it was already after dark, but I mean, there would be whoever was on D shift. I would go ahead and just say, go ahead and hand out some, like a cutlass or two, and some pistols for those that know how to use them. Let's not wake anybody yet. We don't have cause to wake anybody yet. Let's get a little closer and take another look.
Okay. So is that what you're doing, Andreas? Going
Yeah,
and
I'll
doing
open
that?
up the small arms locker and pull out some weapons and pull out
Hand
some
them out.
weapons and distribute them to the current shift.
Cool. All right.
Yeah,
What's Gianni doing? What's Gianni?
Gianni's going to find some fabric that he could possibly use as a mask. He's planning to go on over to the ship and
Cool.
probably get some rope, because if there's something he's good at, it's climbing and jumping.
All right.
I'll
And what's
mention it
Nindak
to
doing?
Ace, but yeah.
Net's just going to be preparing several masks in case more people want to come over, but she does it with like layers of fabric and probably with some like thicker viscous material in between, like a resin or an oil, sort of to act as a stronger barrier.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So, so y'all are doing that, and then, you either are below until you get word, or you're watching the ship come closer. But eventually, Han sends for you, Ace, and and says we're within the range you requested, Captain.
All right, I'm gonna go up to the quarterdeck and take a look at it. We should be the course that I requested. We should be kind of at an angle to it. We shouldn't be completely perpendicular. Perpendicular to it. We should be coming out to about 200 yards off their bow was my goal. So
Okay.
can I take another look and see if I can see anything else now that we're closer? See any movement or be able to
Absolutely.
identify anything in the rigging?
So what you notice now that you're closer is you do indeed do not see anybody at all on the top of the ship.
Okay.
Not in the rigging, not in the crow's nest, not on the decks, nowhere. Go ahead and roll. That's the one thing you mainly notice. So now make your wits and notice roll.
Okay, give me 1 second. I'll do this quickly. So, six raises.
All right. So, so you definitely see the name, see the flags are still there. You also notice that the dinghies, like the smaller boats supposed to be attached to the ship, are gone. You can tell from this distance that they're
Okay.
not there. You can see where the hatches were to hang them, where they would,
Sure, it looks.
be set on the ship.
So if my people have returned to around me, or whoever is around me, probably Gianni, I would assume for sure, and whomever else might have joined me on the quarterdeck when we approached, to them I would say, it looks to me as though they abandoned ship. I don't see a reason why they abandoned ship yet. We probably won't get one unless we send somebody over. Now, I see no movement. My inclination is, if you are willing, Gianni, which I look at you and you have your bandana mask on, so I'm like, it looks like you're willing. I'm going to make an assumption that you are okay to go over there.
Definitely.
I'm going to say, we will get a little closer, and I will let you down in a smaller boat and go over there. I don't want to get close enough for them to be able, if there is somebody on the ship, just in case, I don't want to be within grappling range.
I had thought hanging a rope off the tip of the yardarm and starting from the mast and swinging out to it. It should take me close enough.
And we're,
It's
right
200 yards.
Right
You'd
now
have to
we're
get
200
close.
yards away,
heck no.
Gianni.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
What
Hell
did where did you think we were?
Excuse me, have you seen
All
my
of a sudden,
dice
it's
pool?
crouching. It's like
We can
crouching
load you in a
tiger, hidden
cannon.
dragon. All of a sudden,
Yeah, I'm
Gianni's
like, what
just
the-
like,
I understand that you want to get. I understand that you want to swing around and do your swingy bits, but we have a bit of distance between us and that boat.
Okay, never mind. Never
Okay.
mind. Sorry.
I would like to get only
Okay.
another 150 yards closer, and then let you boat the rest of the way over. Would you like
Okay.
me to go with you?
No.
You don't want me to row the boat?
No, I think I can roll.
Okay.
I'm gonna try.
Good. I didn't want to anyway. So let's get you, and let's Hund get him in one of those small boats. And
okay. And I will also tell you the other thing you noted, Ace, while you were looking. You got 6, right? Now that you can look at the rigging closer, you notice that it was off. What you can tell from the rigging is that it doesn't look like anybody messed with it. It looks like it's been, like, loosened, which happens with the ropes and everything if they're not, like, tended to.
it just
Like,
it
people
just
aren't,
looks like nobody's been manning the boat
Yeah.
for a minute. Okay.
Right.
Okay. And I will mention that. It's like it honestly doesn't look like anybody's been taking care of any of the sails or anything. It's just it's not necessarily a drift, but it's a drift. And it looks like it's been abandoned, so Johnny, just be careful. I would really prefer it. I know that you're not exactly a combatant, but if you don't want to take a weapon with you, then I'm going to send somebody with you.
Honestly, why not? I mean, is it such a bad idea that if something bad happens, I just jump overboard?
It depends on what bad happens.
Okay. Now I really am worried.
I'm just saying, okay, I grew up hearing stories of sea monsters and the like, so let's just be careful. Just in case, You jump
Yeah.
overboard, I'm gonna send somebody with you.
Is this like the popping the eyeballs in your mouth, or is there really sea
No,
monsters?
I don't know. It's dark. It's late at night. There's a Usuran ship just wandering out there. Just let.
Okay.
And I go to Hund and I'm like, Hund, go get Potashkar and send him with him. Just tell him to go with him. It'll be fine.
Captain,
Yes.
I'll go with him.
Okay.
It'll be easier to perform decontamination procedures on just these two.
That's fine. That's fine. Never mind. Andreas is going to go.
And Andreas will
put
hand
something on your plate, please.
the small arms locker key to Hunt.
Okay. All right. So, and Nanette, are you wanting to do anything particular at this point? Now that I assume
mostly
you
just-
came prepared this.
Yeah, just mostly preparing a change of clothes for them and a lot of high-proof alcohol to just rinse them down afterwards. I'm still operating on the idea that there might be a plague on board.
Okay.
Andreas is going because
All right.
he technically, if he needs to, can get rid of a plague.
We'll see.
Okay. All right. So you pull up close to where you wanted to put the smaller boat down, and so I assume that's what Gianni and Andreas, they get in it and start rowing over to the ship.
Yep.
Sure. Excellent. Okay. So you row over there, and you're now up to the ship. You do not see rope ladder. You do not see ropes to get up there, or anything like that. You know, normally someone would, drop a ladder over the side or whatever. So, how are you gonna get up there?
I'm sure we sent them with a grappling hook on a rope that Gianni could whoop, 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 and throw up and
Sure.
climb
Gianni
up.
be Gianni.
Johnny be on.
Alright.
This is his time to daring do and use the hook shot and poke it in the eye. And
finesse,
climb up.
either finesse or panache, your choice, Gianni.
Yay.
And it's athletics.
Ooh, even double yay.
You'll need one to do it. You will need two. Yeah, you'll need one to do the action. You will need two to hook it up, and you will need the fourth one to make sure you're up there without incident, without hurting yourself or, getting the grappling hook loose. So we're looking for 4.
All right. So let me put that together. That goes there. So I have at least 2. Sorry, this is going to take a moment. I have a 10 that I rolled. So I have 5 minute athletics that exploded. Turning that to 15, so that's going to be 2. Because of the dice rolls, not that it did anything more than that. There we go. Another 2, so that puts me at 4. 12, 14, 15, so that's another
If
2.
you're up for,
So that's
yeah.
6.
Yeah, cool. All right, yeah. So you manage. I mean, does Gianni do this in a particular way, or is it just like, and we go up, or,
Well, it's panache. So,
So it's fancy.
yep.
It's a show
Ace-
for those on deck.
Ace is watching this whole thing. And he's like, I just want him to get on the damn boat. God. Like,
Why is everything got to be a production?
Is this a
Why does it have to
performance
be a
just for
production?
Andreas?
He's doing it. It's like he's doing silks using the rope.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, Gianni goes up a little bit, then holds it with his legs back down. He's like, Andreas, can you hand me that? No reason, just because he wants.
Just because he can. Yeah, would
Just
you
'cause he
like a
can.
hand?
Do you send a rope over the side for me to tie off our?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
And
you get up on the deck in a very fancy manner and put down the rope. So go ahead, Andreas.
I'll tie off the longboat so that it doesn't float away from this ship, because that's a thing that happens.
Okay.
And then I will just make my way up much more simply with a rope that's already or unless there's a ladder he can lower down to me. Kick over the
Actually, I'm
side.
curious. I mean, all the longboats are gone. Is the side netting like for
For a mass evacuation, yeah.
Yeah.
That's not there.
Is that anywhere?
No.
This is getting weirder and weirder. I even tell you that. I shot that over the edge. I'm like,
Yeah, I'll make my way up and I go. Should we check to see if they were cut out or lowered natural? Like,
I don't know. I don't even know if that's a normal thing. Is that the normal thing? Because I was in the production of the Count and the Tiny Boat. That's the translation in Badachi.
yes, no, I've seen it.
Yeah.
It's a euphemism, lads.
Andreas will check the rigging where the where lifeboat should be. Does it look cut or
Nope. Just loose. Just not there. If you're talking about the netting and the rigging.
no
is
no
the same, you
the
don't-
rigging where where the boats would be, where the lifeboats would be, the longboats and such.
No, it's gone. I mean, lowered them on the ropes. Yeah.
So they did lower them. Captain's quarters.
This is getting.
See if they have a log.
Getting odd.
Is this
Getting odd.
before we go too far? Is there a central hold?
A hold? Yeah. There's a hold.
Central hold.
Yeah.
I
This
walk
seems to be
over-
like a merchant ship. So,
Yeah.
well, from what you're okay, so let me describe once you guys are up there. You checked
It's
the
a
rigging,
monk.
saw it was not cut, then the netting, not there. You see nobody on deck. Nothing on deck. No bodies, no nothing. Just it's empty. And there is a central hold. Obviously, a merchant ship, they would lower things into that. Anything else you can ask about? But that's immediately what you notice.
I just want to know if we need to get off the ship immediately. I'm gonna walk over to the central hold and take a look in.
You see barrels. Lots and lots and lots of barrels.
I take a sniff.
Liquor.
Okay, lots of rum or liquor or alcohol. I'll actually look at the fate lines. I'll start glancing around. Is there anything here?
Nope. No fate lines here.
Okay, I have shivers down my spine. This is.
Andreas will start looking for like a captain's like the captain's cabin where they might have a log or anything.
Okay. So, the first thing you find when you start looking through rooms and you see what you expect, except that as you're opening doors and kind of trying to find where this captain's room might be, you look and you note that you see you go into a spot that looks like some officers or higher ups on the ship live there, but there's personal effects still in those rooms when you look. Even just quickly, you can see like a drawn like little portrait. You see a ring sitting on a basin. People's personal effects are still there.
We need to keep going. We need to see if there's a log.
Okay, keep going. You find the captain's room and go
Yes.
to open the door, and you open it, it's unlocked.
Okay.
And you open it, and the ship chart immediately, like when you open the door, it's like you hear paper, like you hear parchment and stuff. When you
Andreas
try
will
to
then like
open it.
ease it open to try to like put his hand or boots to kind of keep things from flying out, so he can try to keep the disaster from.
Yeah. There are ship charts all over this floor. all over the place.
Andreas will start picking them up and kind of glancing through them as he's basically picking them up and cleaning them up. Gianni, there's a bunch of. I found the captain's quarters.
Okay.
Gianni, what are? Let me pause you all for a second. Andreas says, "We found the captain's quarters." Nanette and Ace, over on the Fortuna. What are you? I assume y'all are just like watching all this. All this is happening.
We've sat aside and started having a private conversation. We have a heart to
We
heart
should
on the
talk
deck.
about this tension. No, just Nanette's probably just at the railing, white knuckle gripping it, worried about.
Do you want to look?
I don't know if I.
Ace offers the spyglass.
Okay.
You can say no. I just was offering.
No, she does. She looks through it just to make sure everybody is still moving.
It's not every day that I offered any girl to look through my spyglass. Whatever, I take it back.
Wait, why did you have to go make this weird?
Because I'm nervous, okay? And I don't know what's going on, and they're over there by themselves, and I mean, if something happens to them, I mean, there could be a monster. There used to be stories about the Usurans shipping monsters in barrels, and it was horrifying to me as a child. I think it was just to keep us from hiding in the barrels at the docks.
I'm sure there's something perfectly normal about what's going on here. Maybe they just left the ship. And Andreas can handle himself, as can Gianni.
Well, I will tell you, Ace, that now that you're kind of like there and you're looking around and they're over there, you can see, at least from your angle, there is no damage. Like the ship looks fine. I mean, it's still above water. It's still there. So at least you in your mind can eliminate that they were like attacked or whatever, because unless it was completely, silent or whatever, but as far as the ship boards and masts and sails and everything go yourself, you don't see like big holes or like that they ran into something or anything like that.
From a resourceful standpoint, I mean, there might be a lot that we could take from this ship and repurpose, upcycle.
If they were carrying goods that were non-perishable, perhaps?
I mean, even just sails and shit like that. I mean, that stuff is valuable to the right buyer. It doesn't make sense to me why they would have abandoned ship unless it was some sort of like, I don't know, mutiny, and they just stranded the captain. The stories were very vague. There was nothing odd except that it was just lost at sea. So, I mean, would you like to go over?
No, not particularly. Would you? We can mine the ship.
No, I don't want to. I didn't want it to seem like I was a coward. You said no first, so I'll stay back with you. It's fine.
I'm not much good in the fight.
Neither is Gianni, but we sent him, so.
Gianni is resourceful.
I don't know. Gianni took somebody out with a crate of fish.
No, it's true. It's true. And now the fish are taking him out with their eyeballs. So let's just see. Hund, go ahead and move us a bit closer. And I will have us close the distance and kind of circle the ship. I go around to the other side. To whomever, I don't have an. I'm sorry?
Hund asked you, he says, do you want to put over planks, Captain?
I do not. I just want to get on the other side, and then I will call up to whoever's in the crow's nest, and I'll be like, keep an eye out on the far horizon on the other side of that ship. Tell me if you see anything. If anything moves. Anything at all. If any of the shadows are darker than they should be, you let me know.
Aye, Captain. All right, back on the Rurik. Okay, so Andreas, you found the captain's thing, the captain's room, and hollered up to Gianni. So now I'm going to go to Gianni. Gianni, Andreas disappeared downstairs. What are you doing? Did you go downstairs and go somewhere else? Are you staying up top, or what are you doing?
I call back and forth with him, but I'm gonna stay up top because I'm keeping an eye, making sure nothing comes up behind us, ambushes us, anything like that. So
Yeah, you hear nothing. You know, I mean, if you're up there, you know, listening to this, but so far, nothing. Okay, Andreas, so you're looking around the room some more?
Yes, I am not doing dedicated searching, trying to figure out like the ship's maps and and logs and that kind of stuff.
All right. So you find the ship's log.
Oh, good. I start reading it. I'll start at the back.
It is the in your Surin, but you can read that. But just so
Yes.
you know, okay. So what you see is that the last entry was about 10 days ago. From now.
Okay.
It's about 10 days ago, and going 10 days ago early in the morning. And the entry basically says that they had been battling rough weather for about 2 weeks. It's basically all the last log says. And that they had sighted land. And keep looking through the log, and you go back, they left the last port that they were at, about 20 days before that. So they'd been sailing for 20 days, and then the last entry was 10 days ago.
They've been fighting bad weather for 2 weeks.
Yep.
So 2 weeks of bad weather, 7 days of good sailing, and then 10 days of no log entries.
Yeah.
But they spotted land. Did he
Yeah.
put the coordinates of the land in there?
No.
I'm going to start going through the charts and see which one was which might have been the most recent, where he was dead reckoning his course.
What's a notice?
Can I use scholarship?
Sure.
Yes. Three successes with one left over.
Okay. You do find maps that most of the ship charts you find seem like not for these areas that you're at now. But you do find one relatively close where you found the log, and it looks like that one had been marked on at least a little bit, trying to plot a course to where the ship was supposed to be going.
Okay, and then he'll kind of look at it, and he'll look at the log, and he'll use the log because the log would have their speeds whenever they took it in knots.
Mm-hmm.
To be able to kind of go, all right, here.
That would take a bit of time. How much time are you going to spend doing that? I mean, if you're going to start trying to...
And do you have the sailing knowledge to know that?
Yeah. I mean, there are certainly people on the ship.
Utrecht, on the Utrecht would have... People in the Utrecht would have Michael's knowledge in all of this.
Right. You can't meta Andreas having Michael knowledge in this.
I have my dot of sailing, damn it.
One.
One dot. You know
One
what
dot.
sales are.
Leaning on my scholarship. That's why I keep rolling
I've
scholarship.
got one dot. I've got one dot. Anyway. All
My
right.
scholarship is much higher.
Yeah. If you're gonna argue
I
that
mean,
your scholarship is in nautical navigation, then your sailing would be higher. To be honest. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
but Andreas
you
will then
rolled
just start
enough.
collecting those.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. So Gianni, are you still staying up there and just kind of waiting, or?
Andreas, can we please hurry this up?
Okay. Yeah.
Pinch
I
it
found
off,
a
we
bunch of
gotta go.
stuff. I might need a hand.
Okay.
All
Poor
right.
Gianni.
Oh no.
Open the barrel.
This
I
is
found-
cursed. Cursed.
Is there like a small chest that I could toss the stuff in?
I mean, you can find like a like a small box. Yeah, like a crate, like a small.
Yeah, so he'll roll up
Sure.
the map, the charts. He'll roll up the charts and he'll put them in. He'll put in the ship's log. I guess he'll look around, think if there's anything else useful, like anything else that would help them suss this out.
Not that you see.
And he'll bring up the crate.
So Andreas, yeah, for you two on the Fortuna, see Andreas. You know, if you're kind of keeping track of what's happening. Gianni been up on the deck, probably looking nervous, maybe from this distance. And you see Andreas come up with like a crate, like a little crate from the other
What
side.
the hell are they bringing up? I don't.
Maybe he found some treasure?
I mean,
You have
maybe.
now, like, you know, you've started to come around and all that. So.
Yeah. Do I see anything out around us? Ace would be paying attention to the area around, and probably, you know, we're close enough that she trusts Nanette or Hund or someone else to be able to call out if something happens on the rubric.
You do not see anything.
Anything else?
I'm not going to make you roll for it. There's
Okay.
nothing.
There's nothing out there. All right. Well, I'm going to do something stupid. Nanette,
I encourage it.
plug your ears. Oi!
You hear that across the water.
Are you coming back anytime soon?
I'm hoping so.
Hurry up!
Yeah.
Just get in the boat, Johnny, and he'll follow.
Okay. I head down to the boat. I call out to Andreas. I'm like, I'm getting in the boat.
Okay, I'll lower the ship's charts and the ship's log down to you.
Okay.
Those seemed important.
Okay.
Also, I didn't get that far away, but everybody's stuff is still down there. Like, all their personal effects were still there when I looked through things.
Who does
And-
that?
And the last log entry was 10 days ago. And they'd only been fighting difficult weather for 2 weeks before that.
Hold on. I do a U-turn. I want to go see if the anchor is still on the ship.
Where the bloody hell is he going?
Is the anchor still on the ship?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe they just forgot to drop anchor when they went,
to drop anchor off an island,
and they just sailed away.
and the ship left them behind.
I mean,
They're just on the beach like, hey!
They found land after a hard day at sea.
they did.
They
Did
did say
forget to
that they
drop
spotted
anchor?
land.
They literally could have. The boat just could have ran away.
It
Yes.
drifted off. They did not
Drifted off.
put down the parking brake.
That's what my character's thinking at this point. So he's just like, oh, okay.
I mean,
And now I go back to the boat. I feel
we
good. Yeah, nothing wrong.
I mean,
Now he looks like. Go ahead.
I can, Johnny, I can check the rest of the ship, make sure there's nothing else. I didn't get down to the hold or anything.
I will ask you this.
Somebody spilled
Andres.
liquor, right?
Are we pirates?
I mean,
Yes.
would my character know if discovering a ship out on its own per maritime law is just legal salvage at this point?
Actually, as a shipping person, you probably would know because you probably collected and tried to prevent loss from ships that were.
So this is not piracy at all, it's legal salvage.
Maybe in our world.
Would you please get back on the boat
so I can talk
to you?
We can make the decision whether or not we're going to take everything else.
Well, I want to make sure there's nothing else.
Okay.
I'll make it quick.
Just do me a favor. Run through the hold.
Fine, I'll
Fine.
run through. And
Thank you.
Andreas will.
Get us out of here. I'm tired of waiting for these motherfuckers. This is taking entirely too long. I've got no information. They're just pissing about going back and forth between the boat. They've turned their little dinghy around 3 times.
I'm in the
Actually,
boat now.
no, we have at no point untied from the boat. I'm still
did?
on the boat.
Oh, no, I got down in the boat. I didn't
Oh.
untie anything.
Yeah.
Well, we're leaving you. I've called for you to come back twice, and you've gone back in the boat.
I didn't hear you ever call.
What did I just say?
You just called. That's
I
the
said
first
get
time.
in the boat.
Hold up, and I'll call back. You give us all of 10 minutes to look things over, and now you want us to go back? We do require a little time to search the boat. This could be legal salvage.
Come on. I really just want to leave. Okay, come on.
Again, we are in a wanted ship in the middle of the
Now we're
ocean.
stopping for this.
Garbage boat. This is a garbage boat.
James will quickly make his way below decks.
Yeah, quickly.
Okay.
Yeah, quickly. Do what you're told. Stop trying to fart around. Just do what you're told and get back up here.
All right.
Oh, we that strapped
So
for
you're
money?
gonna
No,
walk
we're not.
through?
Yeah. We know
Okay.
there's
Alright.
liquor. We know there's ship charts.
Yep. As you're gonna walk through real quick.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make my way through, see if it's truly completely abandoned, if there's anything else, if there's
Alright.
anything really weird, besides than just
Okay.
all the stuff I've already found.
Right. Okay. Roll your wits and notice.
That I can do.
Just tell me how many successes you get.
Three with one extra.
3?
Yep.
All right. One thing you notice is that there's 3.5 feet of water in the bottom of the boat when you walk through. The second thing you notice is that there is one of the bilge pumps is disassembled.
Okay.
The third thing you notice is that there is a 6-month supply of food and water, untouched.
Fourth thing I don't notice is the face hugger as it jumps onto my face. But yeah, no. Andreas will just make his way up, and he'll shout over what he found: the bilge pump, the 6-month supply of food, and the.
We're gonna shout that over. I
That's just
honestly don't think that's a good
Oh.
idea to shout all of that. So
Just get on the boat. Just come back. Just come back so we can talk about it. We can always go back if it's good. There's no need for this to be taking this long.
And that way,
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the
harder.
ship's not going. I mean, it's literally just there.
It's
So you
it's
can go
kind of
across.
moving. We've been able to circle it this entire time while we wait for y'all.
Yeah. I would really suggest, from a game standpoint, you go over there
Yeah.
so you guys can discuss what you found.
Yeah.
Just as the GM, as the story person. It's fine. You are not. I promise you are not missing anything by fucking going over there. Okay, if that's what you want to hear, I promise.
I'm making my way back over.
Unpunch your hole and get in the boat and go back over. Okay.
Actually, no, get back in the boat. We're keeping the Davis.
We're keeping the Davis.
Bye, Andreas, as you guys just sail off.
Just come back. Just come back. I want to know what's over there. And if there's a
Yep.
monster, I don't want you to get hurt. Is there a monster?
Okay.
Only the one that hangs out with me.
Okay.
That's
So
a
what
rude
would you
thing to
like?
say. They're very nice.
Andreas will basically say, here's the ship's log, which is what I was bringing up
Okay.
the first time.
So I'm assuming you both get in the boat
Yes.
and Gianni
We went
and
back.
okay, sail
Come
back
back.
over.
Okay,
Okay.
yes.
All right. Continue.
Does anything stop us? Do cannons sink us? Okay. So here's the ship's logs. Here's the
No.
ship's charts that I was recovering first, so that we could figure out what happened. It's got a 6-month supply of food that's completely untouched. One of the bilge pumps is partially looks like it's just been abandoned, and it's legal salvage.
Is there a reason why the bilge pump would be disassembled?
Broken.
Would I'm asking Danny as
If there was a
sailor.
problem with it. If
So
there was a
just for like
problem with it,
repairs.
Yeah.
Okay. So 6 months of supply, legal salvage. Well, I'll be honest with you. I appreciate the idea. If we were in a boat that we were going to keep and had room for all their cargo, or to tow it, then that would be one thing. I don't think I want to sacrifice the speed it would take to tow this to try to offload it. Looking at the charts and things, how far away would I estimate from where our navigator has charted us? How far would this island, this land that they claim to have seen, how far away would that have been? Just rough estimate, like in days.
like see where they were heading.
Yeah.
Like where they were supposed to be going.
Well,
where
the land that they say that they see land. If there's a note on a chart, can we compare?
Well, according to the chart, go ahead and make a roll. I want
Okay.
you to make a roll for this. Go ahead and do wits and sailing.
Okay.
I'm assuming that's better than Ace's scholarship. So
Ace is a dummy. I'm just gonna throw it out there. She was conscripted at 15, so as punishment. Let's see here. But she does have a 3 in sailing and a 3 in wits. And at 3, I get to re-roll a single die. Let's go with this one. That's nice. And so we have 10, 10, 10, 10. That's four raises. None left over.
okay. So you're looking at the charts, and you're like, okay, marked it here that they were here, and they were going here, and it's odd. It's odd because something isn't making sense on this chart, and you're trying to figure out what it is. But this is not. You know, you've seen enough charts, and there's something you're noting that this is not. There's something very odd about this chart on that. So I'll give you that for your. I mean, you got 4.
Yeah.
So I will give you a fact that you think that this chart is not accurate.
Okay. Are there any notes on it?
Just destination.
Just destinations. Okay.
Weather, yeah. You get destination, weather, notes, that sort of thing. but just
Okay.
basic, like how fast they were able to go and all of that stuff.
Okay. Um. So in the logbooks, and I'm talking to Andreas at this point because you're the only one that can read Usuran, I assume.
Yes, I can.
Gianni
Yeah, I
should be
can.
able to.
I can, but we'll
Yeah.
yeah.
Nah, and so I asked Andres, and so you said that they were fighting bad weather.
Yes, for 2 weeks starting at this date. They said they were going that fast, and
Okay.
uh,
From what you're telling me, what they wrote in the logbooks and what they've noted on their chart here, something's definitely not right. Like I don't know if they were starting from a false point, like they didn't begin, like they weren't where they thought they were, or if they weren't traveling, like if they got turned around. Um, what were they carrying? What was in what you did
Oh,
see when you went back? I know Gianni mentioned that there he smelled liquor,
barrels.
just barrels of liquor. Did Do you think it's worth going back and opening one of the barrels? How do you feel? Do you feel all right?
I feel fine. Trust me, I'm pretty sure that they would be celebrating right now if they were going to be freed from me. Um,
Darius is over there like,
I
yeah,
haven't
yeah,
noticed.
innocent. Uh-huh.
I'm just wondering if
There were no
maybe
there
not
were
the
no
P word. Go ahead.
there were no signs that anyone had wasted away. It was
Right.
all like everything was untouched. In fact, this was the most messed up thing was that the logs were all on the floor, or the charts were all on the floor.
See, I feel like. Mm, well, I'll be honest. I don't like it. Um, to put it simply. Gianni has mentioned that he thinks that the boat just wandered off. Like they went to an island and then the boat just they forgot to drop anchor and the boat
which
floated.
I mean, maybe,
I mean, it could happen. I
but
guess.
it could, I guess.
I
But in
mean,
your
I guess
experience,
if they were drunk enough on the vodka in the hold that maybe they forgot to do that. But
That's a stereotype.
there's a bunch of Usurians on there, like
I was gonna
it
Demetrius.
say,
wasn't meant as a
Get the fuck on
stereotype.
the
If
ice.
that's what's on the boat.
I mean,
Actually, Ace is more concerned. I'm more concerned that there was something on the boat that just made them kind of get a little loopy for a while. Not necessarily drunk, but maybe cause some type of hallucination. Like Rue is thinking like Dyatlov Pass kind of shit. So she's going full spooky. But
there didn't seem to be any signs of anything. It doesn't seem to be. It's just floating along. It's legal salvage to everyone to pick it up, and if we're not going to do it, maybe we just leave. We take the logs with us because
yeah, I
they're a
think
weird
we should take
story,
the
and
logs with us and see if we can return it, and then we mark on our chart where we found it. We may be able to garner some friendship with, you know, whoever's missing it.
we can sell the information in the logs.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I just, like I said, I just don't think we have enough oomph to get it anywhere. We're still a good ways out from Labuka, and this will slow us down quite a bit. And I would hate for us to be waylaid by Inquisition ships. Now, if we want to try to get anything out of the cargo hold, it's fine. But
Nah, just make it maybe up the price, knowing that we know that it's a prize ship with alcohol. That
yeah,
means it'll probably keep longer.
let's mark it down where we saw it. We can also, I'll have them mark down the estimated speed, based on winds and things like that. I mean, we can't track it, but we can at least give somebody an idea where it is if somebody else wants to come and find it. And that might be worth more to us than trying to salvage the whole thing right now. But the logbooks were good. This is good information that you gathered. But I was really worried. Like I said, we were told terrible stories about monsters and barrels.
The Davis, who is the Davis right now? Didn't Ace get out of that, but Gianni and Nanette can
No,
still
I can
hear
still
and
see him. It has not been fixed yet. It has not been fixed. Ace has not requested that yet.
Well, the Davis looks over, and the Davis is sitting there like on the railing, and he says, "Doesn't your little friend have a way of finding things if she wants to?" Looks over at Nanette, smiles.
Finding what? Blood marks?
Items.
Do I?
I've seen
Used
you
to be.
do it.
It happened one time, and that's because the voices told me what it was, and they're not speaking to me anymore.
No, you can. Okay, so you can feel where your marks are. So if
It's
you
true,
mark
yes.
the boat, you can tell like what direction it's in.
Oh, yeah. If we wanted to do
If
that,
you-
it's just
and you don't even. It's just a thought. You don't even need to go through the in between to do it. You can just use.
yeah.
If
I just don't know if it was worth the effort.
yeah,
I'm
Ace-
positing it as an option that is available. You can absolutely
and
choose not.
if,
You'd
if the
have to-
Davis if the Davis says that, Ace will ask him that. Do you think it'd be worth marking it?
And wouldn't you have to go with the ship that we went to recover it? Because otherwise, all you're giving them is a cardinal direction from hundreds of miles
I
away.
can give them a general direction. Yes, I've been getting a little bit better about identifying where things are, but it is an
Well, if she
option.
wanted to come back, she would have to if she wanted to direct it accurately. But it's not necessary. It's just a thought.
I mean, Nanette, I'll trust your instincts on it, but I won't trust his, but theirs. Not yours, Andreas, your friend.
No, it's reasonable.
Do you think it's worth coming back for, or is this just? I mean, personally, my feeling on it is that it's just Russian or it's Usurn shipwreck, and we can sell the information for somebody else to find it. I don't think there's anything useful on it for us, and I don't know if we really have the time to come back for it. But if you think that marking it would be useful,
I'm not sure it's particularly useful, but them having a Pote mage on board would explain why they are all gone as well. They could have just left
I mean, their
that
ships
way.
are gone. Their ships are gone. I think it's. I don't. I mean, would you like to go and search for a mark? I doubt that it's.
No, not terribly, but
I think it's
I
more.
can
if you
definitely
wanna come
mark it.
back to it.
I can definitely mark it just in case. On
mean,
the
you
off
guys-
chance that someone of importance is looking for it. But
Do you need to? I don't know how any of this works. Do you need to relinquish one of your other marks to mark it?
I should have enough.
Well, I can go with you if you would like to mark it.
If you insist. But I know it's a kind of a scary ship, and
I mean, it sounds like it's fine now. It just sounds like nobody died. There were no tentacles in the water.
is it the
and-
girl's turn for the adventure on the haunted ship?
I was gonna say, weird question if you don't want to go over. Will a mark survive
Yes.
a gunshot? You could mark one of Ace's bullets, and Ace could just put a bullet into the wood.
Well, I would need. This would be a major mark. Mechanically speaking, it would be a major mark to mark.
'Cause it's a big.
just something this big.
Should
I
have
can
to,
I can mark a bullet, and we can leave a bullet there. And that would also work. Well, yeah, I could just mark something small
We
and
just
chuck
can't
it
do a
over
long
there.
gun.
It would be.
Yeah.
It would probably be more practical to mark the boat itself, just for like ease of tracking purposes.
Yeah, if you don't, if you have the ability to mark it and we don't need it for something else right now, I mean it's fine.
Of course.
But
It-
only
it-
only if you want to. It's your
It will be good practice for me one way or
Social.
another. So it's
All right, let's go take a let's go take a boat ride in the moonlight. This is
Otherwise,
not
I'm a little bit suspicious that the Davis recommended it at all.
yeah. Thank you, thank you. I feel like we're starting to come to agreements
But
on our
but you
blueprint.
know, perhaps we are finding some accord, and they are simply being friendly.
The Davis smiles, doesn't say anything, just grins.
Just a second. We're having a home issue. Just 1 second.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Alright.
But
So,
yeah, I guess we can float over there, and just slap a quick mark on the side of the boat, and it'll be fine.
okay. Cool.
And then somebody can accuse
Uh,
the Blood Rose of the Sea of taking this village or something.
There you go. You need to come up with an MO, like a thing you leave. You know?
Oh,
like
it would be like a bloody rose, for sure.
yeah, that's
Like
what I'm
I'll
saying.
get a
You're like-
stencil.
You're like tuxedo mask and Sailor Moon.
Just
You're
as
like,
effective as well.
yeah, but
Just
you didn't
show
do
up.
anything.
Sorry
I was
about
here.
that.
I was handsome.
No worries.
Our puppy was sleeping on the couch and had somehow gotten wrapped up in a audio cable that had also gotten wrapped around a random arrow, like a bow and arrow, and she hopped off the bed and she was just trailing this
Oh
cord
no.
and arrow along the hardwood floor. Anyway, well, please, let's, if you would like, I will accompany you over to the boat, and we will have a little boat ride in the moonlight. This is not the sort that I usually, yeah.
If this is going to be weird, I can ask Monsieur Hund.
No, oh no. He, I would not leave you in a boat with Hund, alone.
What he seems perfectly
He
jovial.
will. Oh, he is, and
This is what we talk about as we row over there.
as we row
Yeah.
over there, yeah, we talk.
Yeah,
no,
okay.
no. Well, if we're already in the boat, then clearly I'm not going to talk about Hund now because it's not an option.
Yeah.
So-
So you guys managed to get over there, and get up there. I'm not gonna belabor that because I figured y'all figured something out.
Yeah,
so you're
we
on
get-
the
we
ship
got
now. What would you like to? Are you gonna mark and jet, or are you gonna do something
Yeah,
else? while you're
I-
there?
Look
I'm-
around.
I think the others have already done that. Let me just find somewhere out of the way to mark it, and we can go about our business.
Are you uncomfortable right now, Nanette? Is this bothering you? We
This
are
is
alone
an
on-
abandoned ship in the middle of the ocean. Of course, I'm uncomfortable.
Would you have rathered one of those strapping young men come over with you?
That's,
Just
you are very capable. If there is any issues, I just would rather not be here at all. I'm just gonna go find a spot, like maybe like under the underside of the hold, if there's like an open hold area. Just
Okay.
kind of like the underside of the opening, somewhere out of the way.
Well, if you go on the central hold and you do that, you can see all the barrels down there that they had mentioned, and it does indeed smell like liquor down there.
No, it doesn't.
There's a lot of barrels. Down.
not to
well,
her, not to
The Ace it
Okay,
does.
Ace is going down, and what kind of liquor does it smell like? Does it just smell like high proof alcohol, or are we can I-
Hard liquor.
not hard liquor? Oh, it's hard liquor.
Yeah.
I'm going to look around. Do I see a crowbar or
Yeah,
a pry bar?
Sure. Why not?
Let me know if you need any help. And yeah, I start to pry one open.
Sure. You open it up and it is full. It is liquor. It is clear liquor.
You said I was being rude. It's absolutely vodka.
What? I assumed it was. It's a Syrian ship. What else would they be
said,
trading?
You said I was being
Oh.
stereotypical.
Only if you assume that they are drunk off of it enough to forget about their anchor.
No, I was making a suggestion. I made no assumption.
Oh, right. I've done what I needed to do. Do you want to, I don't know, take some with you?
Do you like vodka? Nanette?
I can't honestly say I enjoy it.
All right then. I find a glass and I take a shot and then I cover it back up.
Sweet.
That's
Is
how
it
they all
okay?
died, Rue.
It probably is. Like a hand floats up to the top right after I throw it back.
You found the crew. No. Just kidding.
Huge. You
Body
said
barrels was
vodka is people.
that's the secret ingredient, Rue. It's the flavor. There's a little worm in tequila. In a certain vodka, it's
There's a
people.
little worm in vodka.
Wow.
Sorry.
This is why we're not allowed
Also-
off the boat.
It's all right. Are y'all gonna...
So yeah, she's marked it. Did you make it look pretty, or is it just one of the little thumbprints like you always do?
It's just a simple thumbprint. It's nothing too fancy. I'm assuming there aren't any marks around here that ping for any reason.
Nope.
Besides my own. Perfect.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
I mean,
well,
you can only tell your own marks anyway, but you don't see anything. I'm pretty sure.
I'm not very good, so we'll just.
should we have brought Tomas? Could
I mean,
Tomas find
probably
other
he
marks?
was probably far better at this than I
I
am.
like you better
But
than
it's-
him. I'm sorry. No offense about your brother, but I prefer your company. He's a bit of a
Thank
snob.
you. Well, I mean, yes, he is. That's what makes him endearing to some.
Tucson. I don't hate him by any stretch. Please don't take that the wrong way.
It's all right.
Are you gonna do anything else before you? Are you gonna look around more, or are you gonna head back?
It would be very hypocritical of me to take any extra time to look around since I bitched at Andreas. He couldn't do it, so.
Andreas just looks over. So, should we threaten to leave them behind?
And
To
and
Gianni.
I fully expect Hun to like be standing behind you and go, "Excuse me."
Hey, just returning the favor. I said threaten. I never said follow through.
Are you going to take anything with you?
No, just Nanette. If she'll come back with me.
And I was like, no, the blood.
She's like, just leave me here.
This is my boat now. I can't feel under your oppressive management. It is stifling me. This is literally the 3 days ago of.
Yeah.
I thought we were past this.
No, we are. Let's just go.
Let's go.
If we need to find it later, I think we can.
Okay, then let's head back. And
I'm going to have to do the Davis's nails for this.
I'll be honest with you, Nanette. That always weirds me out when you have. Can you literally touch him? I mean, because he's been close to. They've been close to me, and I cannot.
You
feel
you
anything.
cannot.
No, I can hear them.
But
I
have
can
you
see
tried?
them. No, but I've been close enough that he would have thought. I mean, he just appears places. He like sits on people.
The hugs are very warm.
He gets hugs.
But
I apologize. I'm working on that.
what? Just a polite thank you hug, yes.
They get thank you hugs. Interesting. Okay,
They did make
I see.
magical dresses,
they did.
It's just like, I see how it is.
and
I
they're
see
sometimes
how
helpful. This is the return boat trip. Is just awkward
did-
conversations.
They did make.
They come
did
back
make-
and you can hear them before, like, they kind of get close. You can hear them.
Which part
Chattering,
exactly
like,
does Andreas hear?
Probably.
Why,
They did make a very nice dress for you. That is true. Maybe I should thank
Is-
them.
If Andreas starts hearing things about hugs, he's just gonna look at the Davis and go, "Really? You are messing with Nanette as though she could touch you? You are creating that. You are exerting the power to create that."
Honestly, Rue just believes that Nanette has lost all of the other senses, so the touch one is just she's just pretending for I have to be able to feel something. No,
I'm just that desperate for affection that I'm projecting it onto the Davis.
um no, yeah, when we get back, Ace will say, Nanette, you and I need to have a discussion soon because that was the weirdest not discussion that I've ever had. But it can wait. It can wait, I guess.
Oh, of course. It has been a strange night.
It has been a strange night, and I didn't know if the GM had anything they wanted to say.
Well, no. Once you all get back on the boat, I was just gonna ask. Okay, so what are you gonna do now? Are you guys gonna go back to bed? Are you gonna look at the things you got, or are you gonna save those for the next day? Or are you gonna forget about it, or what
The
are you
things
gonna
that we
do?
brought back?
Yeah, the chart. Well, the
Like the
start,
church
the
stuff?
chart, and
No,
then your
I,
log.
I would probably lock it in a small chest. I'm sure there were plenty in the car, a cabinet or something, and I
Mhm.
would lock it and keep it for what we had discussed, selling it potentially later for information.
Okay. Okay. And then you all, I assume, turn in then, or unless you all need to talk to somebody or do something before you turn in.
Do you want to talk now, Captain? Or would you prefer in the morning?
I mean, now is fine if you'd like. I did have something that I did want to get off my chest, if possible. And I've already shared it with the boys, so it's not like it's some great secret. I hope you know, and I don't. It's not even important. It can wait if you'd rather. It's okay.
It feels like you would like to say something, so please.
You have this way, Nanette, of just always making me feel like I'm the one that like the ball is always in my court, and I keep trying to like throw it back at you, and you just throw it
What?
back at me.
I'm sorry. That's just how I was brought up to speak to people. Not. Please, continue.
I was just well, so I do feel like I do feel like I probably owe you a number of apologies for a lot of things, and I know we've worked through some stuff, and that's all well and good, but I know I've been a bit erratic and hasty and hot-headed of late tonight, and you have bore the brunt of a lot of that, and I do apologize that I have trouble speaking with you for whatever reason that might be. But you have been a lot of help lately. And when I say I appreciate your help, I really do mean it because I know I put a lot of like responsibility on you when we were in Charus, and I made a lot of like really shitty comments, and that sucks. And now that I have to be the one to make decisions, it's not fun, and I don't like doing it. So
You are handling the pressures wonderfully, and as I mentioned, I hold nothing against you. It was a difficult time for all of us, and we were not at our best in many ways.
no, I I also wish to apologize for implying after all that stuff that went down in Labuka, um, that I wanted to leave, because that was not true. I just got kind of scared, and um, what was mentioned with the stuff with you and Andreas uh, after we took Charles away, that was a lot of heavy shit. And like I said, I don't know what's really going on anymore, and that's fine. I don't need to. Uh, but if you're stuck in heavy shit like that again, know that I'm not gonna leave you hanging. That would be worse. than even I think I could muster.
Well, thank you for telling me that. I know it was difficult, especially with the history there. Oh well, like you totally hit the nail on the head as to why it hasn't been Terry stuff.
Yeah.
Because Ace took it very poorly the first time. Why?
No, please go on.
No, I merely wish to say that I understand where you were coming from and your concerns, and there is no end to the heavy shit, as you say. We are quite deep in it.
Yeah.
It will not get easier, and I don't want to drag you down with us.
Well,
You're a good woman, Ace. You
oh,
are
thank you. Thank you.
you are wise and handsome and capable with a firearm and on a boat
Yeah.
and other
Well,
nice things. But
I don't take compliments well.
you have options. You have a future. You have someone to go home to, I would imagine.
You might be surprised about that, but no, I don't. I'm just saying, I may have options. And I know that you have your own stuff. And she would look at your bandaged hands and know that there's not currently a ring there, but she would say, I don't really want to take any of those options, if you know what I mean. But that said, I don't want to make this weird, and it's gotten pretty weird. So, what I was actually going to tell you was that I would really like it if you didn't call me captain when we were, like, by ourselves. It makes me feel a little subconscious because I don't feel like a captain. And I wanted to introduce myself, finally, as the boys got this earlier, but you'd already left. But my name is Amelia McAnson, and it's been wonderful making your acquaintance.
It's been lovely meeting you, Amelia McAnson, Mademoiselle. I'm thankful that you shared that with me. I will
Of
not
course.
burden you with what I will need to do tonight. There is a lot.
I thought you were
Okay.
going to say you don't want to burden me with your real name, because that would have been quite funny.
I'm afraid everyone knows who I am now at this point.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It means a lot for you to share that with me.
I just want you to know that it takes a lot for me to share that. So, but, I don't know, it's getting pretty late. I don't want to keep you. Never know, somebody might come down with the plague before morning, and we'll need our doctor.
Okay, let us not make jokes about that.
I'm sorry. It's a bad habit.
Sincerely, would you like a hug?
Yes, I would. Yes, and we hug.
All right. Awesome. Yeah. Rue and Alla, take some hero points for that. I'm gonna let you and John and Alla keep those for next week too, since they're kind of
Sweet.
use them or lose them. But I don't want you guys to lose the advantage of all the role playing. So
Okay.
you got two, Rue, so keep those two.
I
And
got
then
'em.
John, you got one, keep one, and then Alla, keep the other one for that.
Guys,
Okay.
tonight was my role play prime night.
Yeah. Anybody else would like to have a conversation, do anything before they turn in? No? Alrighty then. So with that, the Fortuna sails away with the dark silhouette of the Rurik behind them now, floating past the horizon, off to who knows where. And a few days later, you see the rocks that indicate the entrance to Labuka, which we will get to next time. So until next time, everybody, do y'all have any announcements? John, Rue?
Saturday.
What are you playing Saturday?
So Saturday we have the return of Seriously Let's Play. It's our newest season for what we do with that show. But we have Zombie Apocalypse Day 91, which is an indie game from the East Coast. And really excited to have it here on the channel. And really excited to this be kicking the show all off again.
And we have the creator running that, right?
We do. There are going to be a lot of creators this next season who are going to be joining us. So it's going to be pretty awesome.
Awesome.
The other
Alright.
announcement would be that Illuminated Page is coming back on Sunday. So our Pulp Cthulhu Horror on the Orient Express playthrough continues. We are in Milan after our hiatus. They actually ended season 1 on the train. So we are going to be getting off the first leg of that train trip in Milan. They have been invited to the opera with a very well-known soprano, and yeah, Milan is going to be a screen, y'all. Let's so join us for
In more ways than one, I'm sure.
yeah,
If
you
it's
know.
about Call of Cthulhu.
This time the
Yeah.
bodies will be in the barrels.
And people
can
will
blame
get flayed.
So
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, so we're excited to bring that back. So Allah's on that, I GM that, John is behind the scenes on that one. We also have Matthew Quiet, who GMs a lot of our Star Trek shows. He will be there. Sean Parks, who is one of our OG channel cast members. He's great to have around. And then Alyssa Appleton, who is an absolute joy to have on that show. And I am really looking forward to getting back to it. I have missed my passengers on the Orient Express. So please, join us for that if you can. 5 p.m. Eastern, I believe, Sunday night. So see you then.
Awesome. Bye, everybody. Fair winds and following
night.
seas to y'all. We will see you next week.
Night, everybody.